Alright. Okay, so now that we're all actually back at the tables, um, from where we were last week, let's see. You have traveled. Going back to the start of the story, you began your quests tied to a caravan. You traveled out into a storm, surrounded by undead, chased into mist, find yourselves in the town of Moon's Hollow, which has been besieged for many months now by unrelenting attacks from the undead. You have helped the town retake their smithy. You have had an opportunity to be given a home to stay in while you're in town. You've been told there is a place of potential dark magic that could be the source of the zombie attacks. And your guide and local friend, Misha, has offered to help you find it. Does that sound about right? And are there major questions from the last two episodes that we want to clear up before we begin officially Act 2 of No Rest for the Wicked?
I think I'm pretty much up to speed.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, like I said at the end of the last session, what are we going to do with the boy? / what do we want to do with the boy as a group?
Well, he's in a place with people to protect him and endless food.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we could always have somebody there that we kind of, have faith in to look over him, like kind of semi-trust.
Which is nobody here.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking Misha's grandma. We're not doing her a favor, so she could not do us a favor and watch the kid.
That's true. I mean, we could ask her to, do us that favor and watch over the kid as we venture out on to that location that is
We could take the kid to the darkness with us.
unnamed.
I don't think that's a good idea personally. But the kid did stab a zombie in the head pretty good.
Yeah, he's learning quick. Maybe Misha knows somebody.
We could always ask.
You can.
See.
If that's what you want us to kick off, or is that like a start of the game tonight will be with that follow-up?
Yeah. I mean, I know that, last we left off, we were in our accommodations resting for the night.
Yes. In fact, in your resting, also, as an apology, when I cough, I can only twitch one thing at a time, or mute one thing at a time. So I'm muting the outgoing audio, not Discord. So I apologize.
No worries.
You guys get stuck with my cough, but they don't. Before we do any of that, are we, in addition to all the adventure you've acquired enough knowledge to rise to a new level of adventuring? Is there any paperwork we should do before we get into tonight?
I don't know. I picked just to tell the team what I did, so that everybody's in the know.
Good plan.
Let me go and look at my character real quick, so that way I'm not going to surprise anybody with weird choices. Hopefully.
You always surprise the group with weird choices, dude.
Okay.
But we like it.
Weird choices and righteous skull smashing. That's what you're here for.
Yeah, well, we should say weirder choices than normal then? I don't know. I picked a fighting style of protection. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll. You must be wielding a shield, which I think I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I can protect people now. I don't know if that's like a one-time use thing or you could use it every time or how long it lasts.
Okay, so you get one reaction per combat round.
Okay.
So once between your action and your next action, you can do a reaction. So,
Okay.
and you can use your one reaction to block for somebody.
Okay, cool.
Which will be good. That's a good move for the way you've been playing so far. And you've picked up some healing magic.
Yeah. I thought it would be a good idea to try to keep myself alive a little bit. So I went on the buff side of things, assuming that the damage will be taken care of by the rest of the team. My second question, or I guess it says that I unlock Divine Smite, which you can, I guess, in place of a spell, I'll just do large damage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good to have. And like you mentioned, on the spell side, I got Bless, which says that you can bless 3 creatures of your choice within range. It's a attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, but I don't know how long the spell lasts. Like, is it for all combat we're blessed, or is it for one round you're blessed?
Plus duration, concentration up to a minute. So unless something happens to make you break concentration.
Oh, so I can't do anything while everyone's blessed?
No, you still can. You can concentrate and still take your normal actions.
Oh, okay. So like something to break concentration would be like being attacked, or is it like, like a boss ability that would cause me to break concentration?
It's in the realm of boss ability, I'm 90% sure.
Oh, okay.
The big thing,
Or I imagine if I go down, right?
Yeah.
Not
Typically,
that
you
that
make
would
a
ever happen.
concentration check depending on how much damage you take. So, like, the more damage you take, the better the chance that they break your concentration.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. And like you mentioned, cure wounds. So we gotta heal. And then I also picked protection from good or evil because that just sounds badass.
It is
If something too evil shows up, I'm gonna be like, not you. No.
It's a good spell.
I am protected. So that brings you guys up to date on like what I did.
You have disadvantage on attack rolls. Target can't be charmed. Gets a free save if they are already charmed. That disadvantage on attack rolls would be nice. To whoever you instill the protection upon. You'll have to pick that carefully.
Yeah, it seems like a clutch ability.
Nebula, you also leveled up with Samara.
I did.
Did you pick what school of magic did you pick?
So I only had, oddly enough, I only had one option.
Really?
I think, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I did. Okay. Right now I have arcane recovery. I don't know what that is, but I think I had that before. Arcane tradition, which I had to pick a certain school.
Yeah, and that's why I was curious which school you picked.
It only let me pick school of evocation. That was the only option, and I was able to choose.
The night that the night after she went to the ER.
Bold choice.
Yeah,
It
that was the only one I
works.
had.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that was, but
Okay.
I mean, you could have gone to the school of select an option.
there's only one option.
Yeah, that's it. Use the school of choose an option.
That's interesting because I was looking at the player's hand. Okay. Well, we can play with it for this week, and I'll take a look over the course of the week to see if there's another one you want to consider. It would be fully thematic to say, nope, I want to do necromancy because, hey, I'm learning it.
I mean,
Maybe you need to be higher level to get access to more schools.
I have no idea.
The
What
good,
is that available at higher levels 10 thing? at the bottom.
I have no idea.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. We can pursue that.
Fantasy is complicated.
It can be. It absolutely can be. Hey, Science, welcome to the chat. We actually haven't really officially started yet. I think I'm just going to kind of speed things along for you guys a bit with some of the backstory. Because you were asking about someone taking care of the kid. And the fifth elderman, the grandmother, Misha's grandmother, is more than happy to take responsibility for the boy at her house and her home. They still have it fairly well I mean, she's one of the eldermen. It's pretty impenetrable, relatively speaking. And she still has most of her original staff. They've only lost about a third of them. So
No, that's okay. That's fine. Yep.
so he'll be in good shape there. For now, of course. It does raise the question, what other preparations would you like to pursue before setting out to this place of evil?
I'm gonna stuff my bags with more sticky buns and ale.
Ale and sticky buns.
I will also add some sticky buns to my bag, as well as some tea.
Yeah,
Stocking
gotta have the morning
That
coffee.
sugary stuff,
the cherry stuff.
like just dried meat and stuff.
Okay.
Because they got the carbs covered. I'll bring the cheese and the meat, I guess.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you're stocking up on food. Any other considerations or plans or inquiries or?
I mean, I'd want to see a map. If she has a map, if she could show me the area.
Yeah, at
Okay.
least the general area, so we know where we're going.
Okay, that's very doable. I swear to God, it's allergies, folks. I have barely left
Oh,
my
yeah?
house.
No, same here. I was like that last night, coughing up a storm.
Don't you miss the good old days when you could wake up with a sore throat and a cough and go, wow, I talked a lot yesterday, and not think, wow, I'm going to die in 5 to 10 days.
Yeah, right. I know. Crazy.
The good old days.
2020, new rules.
Which loops back to you know who the gamers are when it comes to the mask debate. Because if I put an item in front of you and says this will give you a +1, so 5% bonus on all your save versus disease, you are slapping that sucker on if the slot is empty.
That's what I tell a lot of my friends that don't wear belts. I'm like, hey, it's a belt slot. It's an item slot. You haven't put it on, dude. Put it on.
In contrast, anyone who wears a belt with suspenders has trust issues.
Yes, definitely.
Or problems with gravity.
Well, yes. Therefore,
Maybe they just need new pants at that point. If you need a belt and suspenders, just get new pants.
Okay, so you look at the map. You do notice as you're looking it over that the location that Misha's pointed out is somewhat up the hill opposite the side of town you came in on, and there almost seems to be like a designated road in that region that leads out to this location. It is definitely it's marked as some hills around there, some forest. It beyond the location she's indicated, there is it starts to slope up steeply into the mountains. So this is a pretty prominent place you're headed. It's not like just random middle of swamp.
okay.
And she looks at you as you guys are wrapping your sticky buns in waxed cloth so they don't stick to things besides themselves, and topping off your water skins and wine skins as needed. Is there anything else you want to prepare before we set out?
Should we bring like torches and stuff? Like, is there anything you gear up for in like this dungeon adventure? I'm down to bring the fire. Torches.
Yeah, I've actually got some torches too, so.
Yeah.
It's safe to assume you have torches or a lantern within your traveling equipment. You know, a couple of sets
Cool.
of candles, pieces of chalk, bits of rope. Never underestimate the power of being able to mark the right wall as you go in so that you can follow it on the left to get back out.
Oh, that's smart.
Yes, unfortunately, just remember that kobolds are known for erasing random chalk marks and putting them on the opposite wall.
Well,
Oh,
you
lovely.
just mark both walls and then you're good to go.
Too many kobolds, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Without further ado, then you set out the what seems to be morning, as near as you can tell. You head out of the town, and things have that eerie quiet to them. There are no sounds of animals, no sounds of the markets, no sounds of people moving about. As you pass out of the towns proper and out into the fields that surround it, you can see that nothing's growing, or has grown since years. But the oppressive cloud cover really has done a number on all the fauna. The evergreens are still kind of there, but they're starting to really show the lack of light has taken its toll on them. And you kind of make your way along. There is one bit of life that you spot. And at first, you think it's your imagination. There's nothing moving. There's no wind. There's no sounds. It's just the heavy footfalls on the muddy gravel path. And then, as you round another turn, you see something. And a large black raven is perched on a branch, low in a pine tree, staring at you as you approach.
You know, I should have taken Speak with Animals.
Is this the first wildlife we've seen since we've been here?
You have not seen wildlife since the storm hit 2 days ago.
Oh, I can tell you this is not a good omen.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it bodes well.
As you say that, Astaki, the raven literally cocks its head to the side as though it's questioning your statement.
Not creepy at all.
Yeah, I doubled down. Like, the raven's proven me right.
I mean, it's the first wildlife we've seen in days, guys. It could be a really good omen.
It watches as are you continuing to approach, or are you just in a stalemate with it?
I figured we'd still keep walking, but that's up to you guys.
The dwarf starts on down the road.
Yeah,
If you guys stop, though, I'll stop.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
say,
like the
you
kid
guys,
in passing. It's a living thing. It could be a good thing. We don't know.
yeah, enough of your superstitions. I mean, come on, it's a bird.
I'll approach to scare it away.
Okay.
Hey, man, not cool.
You take a step and you wave your shield at it, kind of like try to threaten it. And at first, it just stares at you and kind of rolls its head to the opposite side as you approach. And then when you finally scare it enough that you get enough within that reach where any sensible animal would say, okay, yeah, I'm done now, it takes off over your head and flies towards town.
Okay.
And Misha looks over at you as she's walking along. Why?
Okay.
It looked at me wrong. There's no movement. There's no animals around,
Okay.
and I didn't feel safe. Like I said, it's the bad omen to be tracked by a raven like that.
Okay.
So I do have like a skill, like a nature skill. Would that be of any use, like
Okay.
in this area or at this time? I don't know.
Yeah, sure, roll it.
Okay.
See how that turns out.
Well, based on the fact that his gums have changed in color
And
along with
wow,
respiratory signs,
Nature goddess.
24.
best,
Okay, give me 1 second. My producer needs something, and then I can resolve that roll.
especially given
Okay.
Dad is not taking a break from Twitch to go help the 8-year-old sign up for her own Twitch account so she can chat with her friend. I have limits on what I can do.
any, immediate
That's they've already gotten the riot act. If either of us has to get up because there's a fight going on in the house, there's going to be a technology confiscation. So they're all on notice. But so you start, as you're walking along, you start to rack your brain and you start to remember that there are different cultures have different views of the raven, many of which can be omens of goodwill. Not good ill, goodwill. There we go. That's what I wanted. They can be a sign of good luck. And most importantly, they're often harbingers of something. They're messengers. So it's not entirely
Right.
a negative backstory.
Okay.
That also reminds me, I want to turn off that for now. Okay. Okay. So you continue on, and it's not long that you've been walking when you hear the cry of the raven again, except now it's ahead of you. And you look up, and there's another, or perhaps the same raven, perched again on a branch watching you approach.
Is this deja vu?
Did we circle back? It went flying towards town. Is it the same one? Are we lost already?
Yeah, are we going around in a circle already?
Listen, these guys must be hungry. I'm gonna pull some food out and kind of throw it out to the bird.
It does not react to the food offering. It just continues to look at Esteki.
Oh,
I already shoot it away once. I don't want to shoo it away now. Maybe he just wants to be a friend then, based on what we just heard.
well,
Thanks to your insight, what do you think I should do?
it may be trying to guide us to where
Should
we
we-
need to go.
Oh!
Or it could be like, I don't know, telling us we're going the wrong way. I don't know.
Follow the raven then.
Maybe.
I'm gonna kind of nonchalantly come up behind Azteki. I'm gonna put a little food on his shoulder.
The raven's
Can
head
land on your
bobs when you do that, as though it's chuckling. And then it again flies over your heads and back towards town. And Misha looks at you and goes, "Are you really certain you don't know that bird?"
fairly certain. I'm not 100% sure though.
Certainly seems to know you.
Well, it seems to know Esteki, that's for sure.
Let's say it seems to know one of us at least.
Yeah, what
Just
gives you a
looks like
bird
a-
whisper?
Yeah, look, just a bird to me. Not recently.
Okay.
Should I roll wisdom to see if I remember this bird or something?
My name is Jennifer, and I am.
I would not be, a successful test would not add anything to what has already been said at this stage.
Oh, okay.
Well, I take that back. Go ahead and roll your religion,
And what's your last name?
just for giggles. We'll see what comes up.
Okay. Okay, and the first.
Twah! And he rolls
I
a
guess
natural 20. Which,
Guess the bird is important.
as it should be, because this ensures that these natural 20s will not be available in your pool of luck for later this evening. Law of averages does say that they will only happen once every 20 rolls, and there they have come and gone.
Zip 2947.
Great.
Well, it's an important bird situation. We need to know.
There he is.
Based on that particular roll,
What's going on with Audrey?
not only are you familiar, do you start to remember stories as Samara shared about the nature of the raven as a messenger or a sign of divinity, but there are entire faiths dedicated to the raven as a symbol of holiness, a symbol of divine balance, and you can consider that as a that there's a whole religion built around that symbol. And that it's entirely possible that in a world right now where you are having a difficulty finding a connection to your God, that new divinity you felt when you rose this morning might be somehow tied to the raven. And a little part of you suddenly feels really, really bad about scaring it.
Tiny amount.
Sure.
You gotta trust your gut.
Yeah.
Sounds like your gut needs a rework.
And by the way, thank you,
Need some
Sonic.
probiotics.
You guys have 2 banked rerolls sitting in the queue right now.
Nice.
Legitimate rerolls. So, actually, one. I'm sorry, take that. You have 1 reroll and 1 +2 to a roll. I misread that.
Hey, thank you, Sonic.
So those are hanging out there waiting for you guys to burn them if you need them.
Awesome.
Which I'll have to. You know what? I need to start tweaking combats around that fact, because basically channel points can get turned into advantage, which. Yeah, well, we'll see how this plays out. As you guys continue to work your way up, the road begins to climb up and around the boulders, and you start to get the sense that this probably at one time was a serious road to bring people to and from this location. It has not been traveled in some time, but the underbrush hasn't overgrown it completely, so it could have been used probably within the last couple of years.
Okay.
As far as like regular travel, it's not that well maintained. There are no set ruts or anything, no horse prints or hooves, barely even boot prints. As you come up over the rise, you see that there's a clearing, and at the far end of the clearing is the foundations of what at one time was most likely a beautiful mansion. All that remains are the broken stones of the base 2 to 3 feet and a few bits of stone column work that may have been within it at some time. All of the other wood and glass has either been broken or rotted away ages ago.
Or did it take him an hour or two afterwards?
Misha comes to a stop
Or a night of rest or anything like that?
and kind of plants her feet and crosses her hands in front of herself. And there you are.
This is the place, this haunted house, this spooky place.
This is where, yes, this is where we think it may be.
So
So, what did you think we were supposed to do here? Did you have any idea?
She shifts her weight back and forth between her feet as she kind of stares at the mud. You had agreed to investigate. This is where many of the town believe the attacks are coming from.
I can do investigate. We can do investigate. Yeah, let's go take a look.
Yeah. Let's check it out. See what we can find. See if there's any clues as to why this is where it is all emanating from.
She nods. Can you find your way back to town from here?
You're not coming with us.
No. No.
Some
Why not?
He's a young dog, so it may be that he still is going to have his growth plate.
I don't care to.
Separate from his long bone.
I have no desire.
Little areas
I
where
I haven't been here.
growing, so there's like a little
I swore I wouldn't come back.
plate and the rest of the bone. There may be some
What happened the
issue
first time
with
you
the
were here?
growth plates or
Mhm.
something like that the vet would be able to see and help you address
I-
so that he
This is a location with history for the town. I'm not.
from the issue. I don't think that
Did you tell me you were rolling that, Frederick?
but
Oh, no, she told me, she said we were going to investigate. So I said, let's investigate. And I clicked investigate. I mean, I know that wasn't necessarily necessary, but
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, I would like to know what exactly you were investigating with that investigation,
definitely if he's having some
because this is
the
a lot
whole
of
building.
the whole building. Okay,
The building.
file that one
But I
away.
mean, now that we're talking, it's like, okay, I could, maybe I could try to persuade her to tell me why she's being this way.
That would be a different skill check.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But you're welcome to roll it. This would be insight.
Oh, insight?
Mm-hmm.
It's only slightly better.
you may want to try
And she's this way, as near as you can tell, with a roll of a
more than anything else.
Go with
that
the
was persuasion.
5 and just add 1 to it. Because yeah, it was persuasion. I thought I was trying to persuade her.
Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't seen any signs or anything like that.
Well, we can take the rolls as they happened, which is that she is unpersuaded, but I will definitely agree. So she's not telling you anymore, and someone will have to come up with something interesting to persuade her to talk more. But there's definitely, I mean, obviously she's hiding something, but she earnestly believes this is a place she did swear at some point she would never come again. She is dead on honest when she says that.
That would be
That she did swear this was somewhere she would never come back to.
icing in a certain area after heavy exercise might
So, Misha, did someone used to live here?
help his muscles recover, help protect his
We think so, yes. Some time ago, generations. No one's lived here for,
like a fully torn
well, obviously for over 100 years. But we believe it was at one time a home.
if
Does anybody know what may have happened here?
as a young puppy he wants to run like crazy
There are stories
that he might
that go back to before
so
the clouds came, before the darkness.
this one particular thing that he does that causes an issue it could be it'd be a good idea
But they're stories. They're the things you tell kids to make them feel better when it's dark out.
issues from developing
Oh,
and sometimes it can be something that
oh, he is still humor me. I would like to hear this story
my in-laws had a sheltie
if
which they're not really built for running
if you have the time.
Go ahead and roll that persuasion now.
but they
Oh, this is gonna go terrible.
Is it though?
a weird little chip
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
Wow! And she rolls a 2.
would maneuver
Maybe you want to use the reroll to get the story?
No,
No?
I don't
you
think
want
it's
to save it
worth
for combat?
it. Yeah.
Oh, go on, use it.
they were given the option
You want to know.
You
Or
just
one of us could just try to. Come on, you want to tell us the story?
Well, give us some more role play before it happens. Oh, Gadget Man just threw you another reroll.
kind of how he
oh well.
I think
In that
I
case.
think that's a sign that you're supposed to reroll that.
Go
All right,
Gadget Man.
All right, we'll do a reroll. I can't promise it's gonna be any better.
they were able to medically manage his
It's better.
I mean, a little better.
It's still crap, but it's better.
Thank you, Gadget Man. Appreciate the reroll.
Yeah, it didn't really work though.
No.
but it took a while
Yeah, that's what you've got so far.
they had to do
This is a
exercises with him
again, if you can come up with another way to talk her into sharing more, you're welcome for someone else to make a roll on it.
doesn't always necessarily
Well, I mean, we're already here. I know you said you swore you'd never come back, but I mean, you brought us here. We're already here.
And that's
And you said it
why
was hundreds of years ago, or hundreds, maybe 100 years ago that someone lived here. What do you remember about last time you were here that you made that decision?
it's very difficult to talk about. especially with people,
Right.
with strangers.
We've
Absolutely.
shed blood together. I wouldn't really consider us strangers.
Yeah, not a problem. And it sounds like he's an eager type and he wants
That
to
actually gets her
so
attention.
definitely, taking a look into
This
the
is
plans
where
and
offerings have been made
he can run and jump and
to help
play as much
bring
as he wants to
better harvests, and they have been for generations.
but you just have to keep explaining to him.
And when the attacks started, I swore I would never approach this place again, which is why I have stopped here,
I probably would,
and I will go no further.
more long hikes planned between now
But,
and
I mean,
when you're able
we
to
think at one time this was
clear up
possibly the manor house for the warden of this county.
taking him on those long hikes
But
until you know what's going
as you
on,
can see, it's been
but you're not
generations since anyone called it home.
on something and potentially making it worse. Okay.
So
Well, I will follow.
there,
Go ahead.
there may have some. My intuition or my instinct is telling me, or I feel like there's something that happened here, maybe something terrible, and I don't know if that's true or not. But a tragedy.
So if it'd been hundred so years since someone's lived here, and the zombie thing only really started about 18 months ago,
Even though he
um,
walks just fine,
how
the
are
best
these
thing
things related, do you
would be
think?
to completely arrest him, and just
I don't know.
walk him out to,
She said that they're making offerings. So did the offerings stop and then the zombie thing happened? Like were they leaving offerings at this empty house?
and see if there. I mean, it's gonna be hard to see if there's any improvement because I don't want you to go out and just.
Misha has
48
nothing
hours is up and let him-
to say to that. She actually, when you say that, she takes a step backwards towards the woods.
But give him 48 hours of rest for sure, and then keep things kind of low key until you're able to see the vet.
I'm gonna look around, like just around like the yard of this manor, and see if are there like footprints. Because if zombies are coming from here, you'd think they'd leave some sort of trail.
They weren't leading a trail like on the road.
It does not take a roll for you to notice that this is not in any way tread upon right now. One factor from your experience is that as everything's wet and damp, so perhaps recent weather may have washed it away. On the other hand, mud tends to show footprints better, but you don't see any tracks. So if the zombies are...
I want to investigate anymore. I mean, honestly, we don't have a lot of information here.
So I think that would probably be best. Yeah.
Misha looks like, I think I've said as much as I feel I can safely say. Hopefully you will find answers inside.
Exactly.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Yeah. So
I think we should
quiet,
head in and see what we can find out.
and then
Well, before we head in, I would like to look around. Is the raven around?
address it.
And any birds?
And then once he's
Is it all quiet?
go out and run as usual.
Now that you're looking for it, you actually do spot
I will send you a
the raven is perched
follow up in a little bit
up near that building
going, okay?
on the edge of a stump that's hollowed out and rotted.
You have a good night.
And just sort of sitting there watching your group.
Hey,
I
Aztec,
feel
your
assured
girlfriend's back.
Yes, I attract stalkers like that all the time.
He is a
Hey, with face
charisma-based
like that,
character.
I don't blame you.
All right, is anyone
I'm
gonna
gonna just.
go ahead?
I'd like to just go up to my dog and put a muzzle on her. No, I'd like to go up to the, like you said, the windows are broken.
If there were windows, the glass is gone.
And I'd like to head up and just kind of peer in, see what I see.
Okay. As a point of clarity, then, as you approach, there's no windows to look at. It's the foundation is what's left, and there's a couple of stonework columns, but there are no walls, no windows, no roof. It's really just the foundation of what was once a mansion.
Gotcha.
So there's no like structure here anymore. Most of it's overgrown with moss, weeds, vines, and even what were once stone columns that held up perhaps a large sitting room are themselves, like, one of them's broken in half, the other one's just covered in lichen, and they seem almost out of place with all of the woodwork that's been rotted away over the generations. You're actually thinking about it with any experience with woodwork. It possibly is more than 100 years old. Although, again, unmaintained wood doesn't last really long anyways when exposed to the elements. So it's really hard to pin down based on when they had last tried to maintain the house what had happened.
Is Misha still here, or is she scooted out?
She's still creeping back towards the woods. She's not really running or walking away yet, but you've noticed just glancing down that she's moved back several feet from where she'd been standing before. She is well and fully prepared to turn around and go as soon as you get further enough away from her that she's on her own. But if you have further questions, she is still available to talk to.
Yeah, I do have a question for her.
Mm-hmm.
So, Misha, you say you leave these offerings in these ruins. Where exactly are you leaving these?
The offerings are made in the catacombs beneath it. You'll find
Of course they are.
It's... Yes. The offerings are made there. Yes.
And do these catacombs belong to the owners of the mansion, or is it the town catacombs?
They would be possibly the mansion. We've never used them for town folk
Okay.
that have passed.
Okay.
In fact, we really only... We don't come up here outside of the annual offering.
All right, what exactly do you guys offer to the catacombs? If not your own dead.
And she's processing, obviously. Offerings are made for a bountiful harvest.
Do you bring some cattle up here? Do you bring some, like, grapes, wine, right? What do you guys bring up here?
I need to go.
It's a pretty important question.
Offerings get made. I need to go. I've brought you here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't tell me what kind of offering, I have no intention of going down there.
You said you would investigate. You
This
promised
is
my
part of
grandmother.
investigation. We need to know what we're walking into.
It's not my place to explain the ways of Moon's Hollow to those not from this community.
Fair enough.
Although I will let Frederick make one more roll on that persuasion check. Just to see how that goes. And you now have two. You're sitting on 2 rerolls if you need them.
I'm totally re-rolling that.
All right. Burn in that reroll. Thank you. This one's actually Gadget Man's officially. That's a really good persuasion roll. That's a really good persuasion roll. Okay. She considers that. And okay. No, that's the DM is like I feel like a serious burp solid right here that I'm trying to gauge when it's going to come. And I don't want it to come mid-roll play. Go gadget smooth talking dice. Indeed. Okay. She considers that for a moment. I can say that there is a lottery, and the family that wins the lottery is given the honor of bringing an offering of their choice.
Were you calling us about a pet today?
Has been the tradition. The greater the offering, the greater the chance,
Okay.
according to legend, that Moon's Hollow will be given
What's her last name?
a chance to grow crops in foster game so that we might not be without.
Okay. And first name? Please? Her. Debbie? Okay.
I mean, Aztec-y.
And has she
What kind of
told you-
offering does that sound like to you with your knowledge of religious
One
stuff?
moment while I set up the information. No problem. Are you having an emergency?
It doesn't sound like the non-ominous type of offering. I can tell by Misha's reluctance that this is the sort of offering that takes great sacrifice.
What is her phone number?
You guys also thinking about how they didn't got any kids around here?
493?
Oh, maybe we should go back and get our kid then.
Right? Does she have us that I can send our post-call summary email?
Maybe the zombies aren't the real monsters.
She seems
I
she
mean-
seems hurt at the implication. So we care for the children greatly.
Between the names or anything? Okay.
Perhaps you didn't see them because we keep them protected from people we don't yet trust.
What is the name of
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that as well. You know, maybe that's like their most like prized,
Halo Mail?
you know, they prized possession in the town is their children. You know, and maybe they're well hidden. I don't know. But what I'm curious is why the offering is being made in this specific place, in this mansion and the catacombs. Like, what is it about this place?
And is he any particular
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
multi-poo?
Like, why does this place hold that certain significance, like to make an offering here and not somewhere else?
I think it'd be best if you enter it with an open mind. You're not the only to have tried to come this way.
Okay.
We have sent some before, to be honest.
Okay.
But perhaps you should make up your own minds.
Fair enough. Well, thank you so much for bringing us here. We definitely appreciate it, Misha.
If you can find your way back to town, I'm going to go back and check on your boy and make sure on my oath that he will be kept safe. I will die before he does. I swear this.
Okay. So has he had a
Um,
school
We greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
today at all? Or has no? Okay. When was the last time that he passed his duel?
Okay. Any other parting comments before she turns and starts to walk back down the road?
You got nothing nice to say nothing at all.
Oh,
Don't lose the
Yeah, I got stuff
blacksmith
to say
again.
when she's not here anymore. But yeah, I have nothing to say right now.
Okay.
Okay. You watch as she kind of turns around the corner of the tree line and down the hill and out of the way. And as you kind of watch her go, your eyes just kind of naturally follow up a tree line, and the raven is now sitting on a branch above where she's walking, and it is also watching her pass beneath it and around, and then it kind of snaps up to stare at you.
Any licking of his hind end or anything like that?
I'm not sure, guys. Not to quote too many movies, I got a bad feeling about this.
I mean, it could be like a protective, like, oh, like, you know, maybe it's protecting us. I don't know.
Okay.
Watching over us.
Oh no, not about the Raven.
Oh.
About this whole thing.
Okay.
Raven's
Well,
cool as far as I'm concerned. To be
yes,
honest.
in that case, yes.
I'm excited to check out what's inside.
I mean, you've got like divinity watching over you. I've just got like, you know, my beard.
Um,
Hey, you got me.
been long term. There's been no
Oh, never mind. I'm good. Let's go.
No, okay. And has he
Yeah, I'll head into the ruins, start poking around, looking for some sort of entrance or any markings or signs or sacrifices.
The dungeon is this
O-
way.
offerings.
And the stool that he had 2 days ago was.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be obviously an entrance, you know, that goes down into the catacombs somewhere, and you know, either within the mansion or around it.
Yeah. As you start to walk up towards the ruins, it's not hard to see where the road kind of goes around the side, and in what might have been not the main entrance, but a side passageway, and a very short distance in then drops down a flight of stairs that is half covered with some relatively new boards and construction that definitely sticks out from the rest of the ruins. This pathway is it's not new, like hasn't recently been put in, but it follows the same trend you saw as you came up from the village. This is definitely a place people have come in the past. And it's not hard to lift away the coverings over the hole and descend down the stairs into what would have been the cellars beneath the mansion.
Before we go down, I just want to do a quick investigation of the leftovers of the house as to city rangers, see if I can pick up anything about what the house was like, and basically any information. They're not giving me anything. I need to know stuff before I go places.
Yes. It is not hard to identify that this the architecture is very similar to that within the town. So a solid stone foundation, wood floors, wood walls, well maintained. It's a fairly large house. It would have probably comfortably fit a lord, his staff, attached families, probably 2 or 3 of also nobles within the space. What else are you looking for? I guess would be my question.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, wealth was definitely a big thing, but any indication of different kinds of uses for the house that are not like out of the ordinary, secret doors. I know most of the wood is rotted away, but I mean, we've got a lot of stone foundation, so you can see like things that are being moved constantly that probably shouldn't have been across the floor and stuff like that.
From what remains, it's really hard to get a lot out of it. It seems consistent with the construction of a lord's home. If there's any places that look like they're solid foundations, it might be a what's left of a fireplace, except a lot of it's been knocked over with time. And you can kind of pick out where there might be like a servant's hallway next to it that connects the kitchen and its fireplace foundation up. It's substantial, but definitely has not been used in an incredibly long time. So something must have happened 200-300 years ago that the house was abandoned. Any other signs of like a snake? You wouldn't be able to identify from the way, the age, and the where as to whether it was evacuated by choice, for example. Any signs of that would have long dispersed.
I think that based on what you're telling me, and obviously
However,
they're doing a physical exam on him. So
you are able to spot with your experience that this passageway down is maintained. The steps at the top, you can actually spot some plaster that has been used to help shore up the steps so they can be safely trod. There are some stones that stick out to your eye as possibly been replaced within the last decade. And you also notice that while the stones are wet and they're worn, they don't have the same level of moss and overgrowth that everything else has. You don't feel like you should be concerned trying to walk down them for fear that you will slip, because they've been maintained at least at that level.
But he's not straining to try and pass a stool. And
It's pretty maintained, though, to be honest.
more comfortable when you're picking him up versus worse. So I don't think that he's in any kind of a critical situation.
Anything else before we delve down?
As far as any kind of a blockage, he may be having some further.
Okay.
Nope, I think I'm ready to go.
Having a little bit
The raven,
less
actually, you can now see the raven fly
dry
as it moves up from as it flies up from the tree line and perches on one of the bits of column that probably denoted, as I said earlier, a main hall of some kind. And it sort of walks around a bit uncomfortably, trying to find a place to set its claws so it can watch you guys delve down into the darkness. But then it makes eye contact again with Azteki and bobs its head a few times.
I'll give it a thumbs up before walking in. We'll be fine.
Out of curiosity, who's carrying light sources with you? Who's in charge of the
I brought
torches,
torches.
lanterns?
I'll definitely have a torch on me.
Okay.
Oh, I also have a torch somewhere.
Oh, are we supposed to like check our actual inventory for that?
Oh gosh, no. My worry is just
Oh, okay.
who's carrying them so that we don't run into any weirdnesses later. And I'm perfectly fine if we just declare that Samara and Dagon are the two carrying torches, which makes sense, as they actually have a hand free.
Oh, that's right. I got a shield and a weapon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody else has got to be in charge. I give you
I
the
have
torch.
Yeah, thank you. I will wield the torch.
Okay.
Good plan.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You make your way down the stairs,
See how things are going and see if you have any
and
additional questions.
it's fairly well maintained, comparatively speaking. You go down about a full story, and it opens up into a stone-arched hallway
Their bathroom habits. So
that runs about
all that it is.
50, 60 feet
Like I said,
before it ends in a portrait
give you some additional advice over the
at the far end of the hallway that's covered in a black cloth. You can see the frame on the wall, candelabras on either side of it,
belly and see if there's in there that's ready.
and then it's like a T section, so you can see where the hallway splits at the end of this primary hall.
All right.
There are also a couple of alcoves that disappear off to either side, and you definitely get the impression this is a way in to get to as a supply room, perhaps, or servants access.
Then those would be signs that
Except that it's also very well portioned.
okay.
You can also notice there are 4 suits of armor
Anything else I can help you with this evening?
that are rusted, but still intact,
Good night.
standing silently on their frames along the hallway.
It's pretty weird since they stripped everything else. I'm just musing out loud.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to actually give a quick sketch of what I'm talking about here, just so we're on the same page. So, and I don't know why this is the way my brain thinks of it. Let me get this where I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to start that whole thing over. I don't like any of that. So I'm actually going to go this way with it because that works better for the way my brain works. Okay. And well, welcome to D&D Beyond, Dante. It's good to have you. Bink. There we go. I'll put the sketch pad up so you guys can see what's going on if you're watching. And then I'm going to put you guys all at the end of the hallway for now. Whoop. So there you guys go. I'm only assuming marching order from the what would make sense. But it is non-indicative. And then there's a suit of armor standing here, 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 here. There's a candelabra there, and their portrait. And then this stuff is rubble that has closed off that half of the hallway. Yeah, D&D Beyond is totally worth the effort to use. It is an amazing website for D&D 5th edition. So, talk to me. What is your plan?
I want to have my bow out. I have an arrow.
It's dark and creepy. I'm kind of nervous.
I will advance and just get a closer look at these suits of armor, and then maybe kind of glance around, see what's down these passageways here on the sides, or these alcoves.
Okay.
I'm going to
Samara?
stick near Azteki just because since he has the shield and sword out, I'm going to stick close by to wherever he goes.
Where is Azteki going?
Oh, I figure we gotta look for some sort of like signs, anything that'll let us know where these places lead. Yeah, where the hallways lead to, like maybe there's some sort of markings or something.
Okay. In the immediate, are you holding back while Dagon wanders off by himself, or are you kind of moving up with him?
Oh, let's. Well, I want to move forward. Yeah, I say let's investigate the room together.
So would that be an accurate presentation of everyone's relative positions in this moment?
Yes.
Pretty close.
One more time?
So I'd probably be pretty close to Dagon just because we've done this before. just not at this level.
And just for my peace of mind, so I don't forget, stairs up. There we go. In case you need to find the exit quickly. That would be where it's located. All right. Dagon, when you get up to the suit of armor, you start to inspect it, and you can appreciate why it hasn't really been scavenged. It's more rust than metal, and the individual pieces look like they're more or less fused together from, a combination of rusting and just rusting together without any kind of maintenance. So the chainmail that's underneath the plate is broken in, so it's just kind of corroded away in sections. The plates are probably not going together well. The leather is cracked or gone. It is a completely useless suit. Barely even worth melting down.
I'm surprised these things are still standing.
Do these suits of armor point in any specific directions? Or are they just decorative? Are they all in the same stance, or do they have different stances?
They are positioned to simply standing at relative attention. They're not posed in any way. But as you approach, you do notice that there are braziers of coals next to them that you could light with your torches if you wished. That would light this hallway up.
And that's a good idea. It could be a good idea to light those braziers and get a little more light in the dark.
Yeah, I'll take the ones on my side.
Okay.
And I'll take the ones on my side.
The coals are, there's still some fuel in them, and they catch easily. And you again are reminded that this area is oddly well maintained for the rest of this mansion. A quick glance shows that this hallway is completely closed off with debris. And this one has multiple boards that have been hammered across the passageway. If you want, you could pull them apart and explore that direction, but you would have to take a few moments to pry them away with some kind of a pry bar to break into that area. There has been a deliberate effort to make it hard to get through, and the boarding is the thickest at waist height and below, as though to discourage people from meandering there.
Well, do we want to try to investigate that direction or go further down the hallway and see what's
I want to see what the picture is of.
the portrait?
Yeah.
I would like
I mean,
all four of you to briefly roll me a perception check. Click, 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 click. Everyone reaches for a d20. Azteki gets a 14, 5, 16, and a 13. It's a good thing that you have Dagon doing most of your investigating. As you start to look down the hallway towards the painting, and Frederick's mentioning, hey, we should check that out, you notice that the cloth hanging over it flutters in the wind, except that you don't actually feel any wind.
spooky.
This is normal, right, guys?
I mean, on a 5, yeah, that's pretty normal.
It's totally normal. Not
I don't think
odd at
so. I
all.
mean, maybe there's like a draft or something. I don't feel a draft.
I mean, sure.
I mean, but there's a cloth over it. We could move the cloth and see what's under it. What do you think? Come on,
I'd like to
Paladin,
take a
what do you
peek
think?
around that corner before we just go pulling the drape off.
Oh, fun.
Okay, so who's leading the investigation?
I will.
Okay. Are you going to light the other the braziers, or are you just going to go right around the corner?
Oh, I would like the braziers first. I thought they were.
Yeah, let's light it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought they
Okay.
were lit too.
I would like the braziers too.
Okay. Dagon gets up there, lights the brazier. Azteki and Samara are coming up behind him. Frederick is still in the back.
No, I would be real close to Dagon. Just
Okay.
from He said he got
I
me.
like this.
So in other words, you are all staying grouped within a 10-foot cylinder.
Yeah,
Just-
safety in numbers.
Okay.
We're in a spooky haunted mansion. I mean,
I love how I lay out that actual radius for the group, and the two people with the most D&D experience get that knowing chuckle. Like, oh, that's right. Yes, we're all within range of a fireball spell. Okay. As soon as you have lit the fourth brazier, there is a gust of wind that blows up from the back of this hallway towards you, and the black cloth covering the portrait flutters away.
oh,
In it,
Who is
you
it?
can see a man dressed in black robes with gold trim work. And he's standing holding a ball of pure divine energy in one hand and a book in the other. He turns and stares at your group as his eyes change from a sky blue to a blood red, and you all roll for initiative.
That's one angry picture, guy.
did we disturb the angry dude in the
I
portrait?
don't know. I think the gust of wind disturbed the dude. I don't think we had anything to do with it.
Yeah, we went all Legend of Zelda with the braziers.
Da-na-na-na.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
You've acquired sacrifice.
No, I think we acquired sacrifice when we walked in here.
Yep. I think this guy.
We are the sacrifice.
I think this guy is looking for blood.
Okay, there we go.
You guys ever see that movie Wicker Man?
Alrighty. Do I have all the initiative rolls? I do. Let me get the combat log pulled up. And let me find the right window for that. There it is. And let me add the encounter. Yay, because I prepared for this.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Go quick. Go. And start the encounter. All right, Dagon's initiative total was an 8. Samara comes in at 9. Frederick is on 15. And Azteki at big ol' 7. Okay. Let me put the initiative tracker up for everybody at home. Okay. I'm going to give Adam a second to get back. But
Oh man, I have a feeling those suits of armor are like coming to life.
yeah, that's why they have tokens now. Yeah, in fact, I could even do you a solid, and I'll just erase the little loops and go back to put the tokens there. Bing. Yes. In that moment, the two suits of armor nearest to you begin to animate. There is no way this is a mechanism because they look in the exact same shape as the previous two suits of armor that you've already investigated. So as you start to walk forward, you can see there's magic holding these two suits up in the space. Excuse me. According to the initiative chart, so before we get to this, to finish up that description, the portrait begins to move and gesture at you. It makes no sound on its own, but you can see the man in the portrait is acting. And at his command, the two suits of armor begin to move and step out into the hallway and bring their rusted blades up for battle.
No.
In that moment, it would then fall to Frederick to have the first action.
All right, it's time to talk about my spells. All right, so I'm gonna Hunter's Mark the portrait because I don't like that. Don't look at me like that.
Okay.
And then I will shoot it with an arrow. I don't know how good arrows are at portraits, but let's do it.
It is marked. And yep, and that does show over there. And you're gonna take a shot at the portrait.
Well, the
Okay.
dude in the portrait.
The dude in the portrait. A 10 to hit. 98% sure that you will not miss, but I'll double check. You successfully hit. Roll damage.
Oh, and it doesn't do my d6 for me.
Oh, the additional d6 from the mark. Yeah, we can add that in. So 7 damage. Plus that, plus a 226. All right.
Yep.
As you loose your arrow into the portrait, aiming at the guy, you can see that he is completely. The arrow enters the portrait about where he is. He takes up most of the frame, but he moves. He continues to move within the frame, as though the arrow that's now stuck in the canvas is not affecting him. It's hard to miss a portrait, but he seems completely undaunted by this. It then falls to the suits of armor, which had a bit of an advantage, and they are going to make an attack at the two nearest things, which would be, it looks like, unless I'm mistaken, that would be one on Dagon and one's going to move to engage Azteki.
Oh.
So they're going to step in. The one that attacks Dagon swings and misses. And its second attack is also a miss. As it begins to push in on you and you duck and dodge and get your sword up for defense. The second one is going to come after Azteki. And it almost hits. With some careful motion back and forth, Azteki is able to impose his shield between himself and the animated armor and hold it off.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm thinking... let's see. The portrait is up next. And it's not going to waste energy. It's going to drop this on Azteki. And miss. The portrait pulls the divine energy together in its hands and blasts out of the portrait itself. And you can see a ray of glowing divine energy, complete with brush strokes, fly right down the hallway and impact on your shield. Where it unfortunately does nothing.
Does it paint his shield?
No. It dissipates as though...
putting in some work.
It is. It absolutely is. Samara is up next. And by the way, welcome to the raid. Obcon, thank you for bringing everybody over. It's always fun to have more people. You got here just in time as the party is being attacked by a living portrait and animated suits of armor. Samara is up. That would be Nebula.
And is me. Now, whether to fire at the advancing suit of armor that is right there, or the evil portrait dude.
That is
Maybe the only one that can attack the portrait with your magic.
I mean,
Like, if
I
arrows
shot
don't
him
do
with an
anything
arrow,
to it.
and it didn't do anything.
Well, yeah, that's the only thing. Is if he shot a bow and arrow at it and it didn't do anything, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe magic could.
Or we can focus on the animated suits of armor. I'm down for whatever.
Can we see where the covering drifted off to? Like, is it still within reach?
Yeah, can we just cover him up like a bird?
That's what I'm thinking. Nope.
Wait,
Go to sleep.
If you can get past the armor, you can see that the tattered cloth is sitting on that pile of rubble over there. You are going to have to, if that's your plan, you're going to have to fight your way past the armor and then deal with the armor pounding on you as you try to hold it up over your heads and hook it over the top of the frame. Now, to be clear, this is not like a portrait, like, a little thing that you would get at Cedar Point with your other half at the, this is a 10 foot portrait of someone important.
Gotcha.
Upside,
how is it affixed to the wall?
you are not in a position to investigate exactly how it is hanging.
Okay, I was like, is it obvious? Is it like one of those like tapestry things?
You can see, actually, I take that back. You can see the chains that connect it to the ceiling. It is hung sturdily. It's heavy.
Okay.
It's not like, there's no like nail with a little bit of wire holding it on.
All right. I think I'm gonna attack the closest suit of armor to.
Okay. What are you
Aseki.
using?
I'm guessing firebolt. I don't know. Hold on. Let me take a look before I commit to that. Okay. Yeah. I think I'll go with firebolt. I don't know if it's gonna do anything. We'll find out.
Okay.
Wow.
A 10 to hit the armor. I'm 98% sure is going to just, it deflects off the metal and the fire just kind of like pops off to the side. That was not a great roll.
My rolls are not good today.
In your defense. Well, you used a lot of good rolls earlier getting backstory. So if you die here,
Yes.
just remember you guys got lots of good exposition out of your dice before they failed you. So that's important. Then we turn to our brawler.
All right, so my tavern brawler feats is I can use an improvised weapon to do D4 damage. Would the torch count as that in my offhand?
Yes.
All right, so in that case, I will make my main hand attack with the hand axe on the guy right here in front of me, and then
Okay.
I'm going to try to whack him with my torch as well.
Okay. So 2 successive attack rolls, and then your 2 damages. If you hit, which I fully expect you to. That's a hit. And that's not.
That's damage.
Oh, that's damage on it. Okay. Let's see. This is the one that's closer to you, so... And I'm just going to mark that so we know that's who it is. Okay. We can keep track of that. Second one is definitely a hit. And more damage on it. You're whittling it down. Bing, bing. Okay. And next up, now it comes to our knight, our cavalier, the one the raven has chosen.
I think I should just head over to the hurt piece of armor and see if we can finish it off.
Okay. So you throw your shield up against the one you're facing, and then swing up over and bring the Morning Star down, and start to push in and double team the one. Good strategy. Roll the bones. Saw that diamond. So far there has been a lack of cake here. That is not going to be good enough.
Oh no.
You start to swing, you come in at it hard, and it's moving spryly for a bit of rusted armor. In fact, you can see that whatever is animating it is actually fairly skilled in martial arts. That it's able to take a step back, take a step forward, bring its blade over to deflect yours. There's been some training involved here. These are not commoners, he said of the magically enchanted suit of armor. Frederick, you're up.
I don't know if I. No or yes.
I did not hear the question. Go again.
Oh no, I didn't ask you a question. I thought you were interrupting me. That's all good. I'm going to, I guess, shoot the armor since shooting the guy is not working.
Okay. Pulls back an arrow and lets it go into melee, because that's always wise. Is this the undamaged or the damaged armor?
The damaged one.
Okay.
Party rules. Well, you know what? Honestly, I'll use my swords.
I'm way overdue to
Bye.
resolve that. Okay. Whoa. That's a hit. And that's a miss. And that's a damage. And that did something. Okay. So, you fight in, and you muscle your way up against the armor and start to kind of pin it in quite a scrap. I'm going to update the map to kind of show relatively where everyone seems to have landed in this fight. Also, for the record, we have 2 rerolls are in the bank, and a +2 to a roll is in the bank. So, in order to make this work,
Okay.
this is going to have to kind of be where everyone is standing for everyone to continue with fidelity as you have been describing actions.
Okay.
Okay. Azteki is currently engaged with 2 suits of armor, while everyone is kind of scrapping their way around the one that's been wounded. Okay. So just to be clear, let's see. We're at the armor. Nope, Frederick is up. He just went. All right, the armor has its chance to do a thing. The one that is untouched is actually going to push past and take a shot at Samara.
No.
And is likely to hit.
Yeah. I'm scared.
Should I do the reaction thingy? That's a call for the reaction
Get
thingy.
your-
I'll do the reaction
Get
thingy.
your
I
resume
will
ready.
track it with my shield while I'm missing the one right in front of me.
Azteki sees it advancing past him and immediately imposes himself in place and throws his shield out to kind of like backhand it away. And that unfortunately wasn't enough to make a difference. But it was a good effort.
I tried.
And she's going to feel that
Oh no.
for 7 damage.
Farewell, cruel world.
Oh, you're not down yet.
I know.
You're not down yet. The second one is going to continue to engage Dagon. Oh,
Don't make those noises at me.
both attacks hit for a total of 12.
Oof.
It's all right. I'm still standing.
I'm still standing. Yeah. Yeah, you're still doing okay, though. Unfortunately, now we have the portraits action. And I think it is going to...
Don't attack me, portrait.
Ooh, I didn't realize the portraits had hurt though. We should hurt the portrait some more.
I just saw that too.
The portrait is going to take another shot. It has a couple of slots to use. So it's going to go ahead and launch another ball of light out. And this one's coming, it's going to follow party rules. It's going to drop Dagon. No, it's not.
Ha ha!
Oh, nice.
And the ball of light goes wide past you. 1 hit point left. I didn't hear no bell. That now takes us to Samara's action.
All right.
What is the wizardress doing?
Okay. So I think I'm gonna attack the armor that is already been wounded.
Okay. You might not want to forget you do have 3 spell slots today to use. And
Oh, I do.
yes, you do.
Oh, yay. So, question. If I do absorb elements, what is that against? That would work against the portrait then?
That would probably not,
Maybe.
because it's not firing an
not.
element. It seems to be firing divine energy.
Okay. That was what I wanted to know. Okay.
I will let you know if that pops up.
Okay.
But that would be a reaction. So if I hit you with any of those, I'll tell you can absorb them.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Why not try to use Earth Tremor that may affect both of the suits of armor? And see what happens.
Might
If that's
affect us as well.
She can
Would it?
craft it to make sure you guys make your saves. But it will make this area difficult for you guys to traverse. You won't fall, but you will definitely have to deal with the... You're not going to move. You're not going to be running through here if she does that.
I mean, I could always.
Oh, I'm not saying don't do it. If it's not going to hurt us, you do you, man. You want to shake that ground? You shake that ground.
Yep, she specializes in evocation. She can craft the spell to protect you guys from it. If she wants. She doesn't have
so
to.
It really won't affect us. We'll just move a little slower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what you're going with?
Yeah.
Okay,
I think so.
roll me 2d6 for damage to the 2 armors. The portrait is unaffected as it's not attached to the ground. And we'll see if they make their saves. I don't expect they're going to, but we'll see. This is a dex save.
Oh, did I not roll a d6? I don't know what I did.
I see 2 d6s got
Okay.
rolled, so they took some damage. And they both
Okay.
lose their footage. And stumble about. While the rest of you guys get to grin because where your boots are planted, the ground does not move.
It's a good
Dagon,
feeling.
you're up.
All right, I am going to attack with the hand axe on the guy that did they fall? Like they fall to the ground?
Yes, they both. Each of them has either dropped on the one. The one attacking you has dropped to a knee. The one that was attacking Nebula or Samara has actually fallen completely to the ground and it's trying to pick itself back up again.
Okay, I am going to attack with the hand axe, and then I think I'm gonna use my bonus action for a second wind, try to get some hit points back.
Okay. That sounds good. Give me the first attack roll.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, that's going to do some damage to it. 13 damage.
Nice.
That's kind of impressive. Not gonna lie.
Spit on him too.
So you bring the axe around, and it, because it's got on one knee, you actually come right through the armor, up under the arm, and up through the helmet, and just the armor breaks apart around where the axe blade flies, and you watch it goes from a humanoid form of steel into a pile of broken, rusted metal as it just sort of cascades down and apart.
I'm gonna look at the portrait and say, "Hey, you're next, buddy."
Second wind. So go ahead and roll that D10 and add 2 to it.
How do I roll just a die?
If you go to the left side of the character sheet, you should see just a random dice you can throw.
Got it.
I think you can also click on. That's
So that would be
impressive.
a 1 + 2, so 3 hit points.
3 hit points back.
Reroll.
You do have 2 rerolls in your bank.
I suggest the reroll. Or It's up to you because you could reroll or +2. Either would be useful.
Or you could do both, if the party agrees.
The reroll's pretty epic. I'll just take the +2 if you guys are cool with that. That'll put me 5 more hit points instead of the 3.
I'm okay with that.
Sounds good.
Okay, that's been burned. So 5 more hit points. Okay, there you go. That's in. You're looking much better now at 13 hit points. That's a good thing. Azteki, you're up.
Okay, I would like to, I guess, cure wounds on the wizard who can't keep her head down.
Okay.
So how do I do that? I just clicky the cast button?
Yep.
Or do I click the effect or both?
You click cast to mark that you cast it, and then click the effect so we
Okay.
can see how you did with it.
Oh, okay, there you go.
There you go. Takes back 5 hit points. You turn around,
You're welcome.
shout something, and you actually notice as you do, you can see along your gauntlet as you reach out to her to send healing energy her way. It looks as though there are feathers coming back out of your gauntlet along your arm as you do for the briefest of moments before they fade again.
Cool.
That's pretty cool, Bird Boy.
I like it.
I got chills.
Ravenloft has really neat religions. Okay, and that takes us to the top of the combat round. Frederick is up.
I shoot the guy in the portrait again.
Okay, you pull back, let
Rude
another
guy he
arrow
is.
fly for piercing damage if you hit. That will definitely hit for piercing damage. That will definitely do piercing damage. Okay. And again, the arrow, like, just, you can see the arrow lodges into the wood back frame of the portrait, and there's probably a hole in the canvas where the guy is, but he continues to move around within the portrait, mostly unaffected by it.
And I forgot that armor was down. I'll go chop it next time.
The armor that had pushed through to get to Nebula, it picks itself up on its action. I kind of think that prone is there. The spell you use doesn't have a lot of kick to it if they can literally stand up and continue fighting. So we're going to let it take its turn to get back on its feet. That armor is gone, so now it comes to the portrait. And it's not having a good day today. So I think it is going to try to... yes. Who does it not like? I think it doesn't like Frederick. Frederick, I need a dex save.
Sound good? I mean, doesn't sound good, but
It sounds doable.
I can try.
Hey, that portrait
That
is out to get you,
Is
man.
a solid
I
dex save.
started it for the record. Like, I don't blame it at all.
You take a step to the side as a column of divine energy forms next to you and sort of swashes out and surges back in again. As a portrait continues to move and appear to chant silently within its frame. Samara, what are you doing?
I think maybe I'm gonna try attacking the portrait
Okay.
and see what happens.
You go bringing out the big guns? Is this a magic missile thing, or is this a firebolt situation?
Yeah, you know what? Why not?
He did a barrel roll.
Let's try magic missile and see if it can put some decent damage on maybe not only portrait, but the other suit of armor as well?
Well, you get three missiles. Do you want to put all three in the portrait, or do you want to split your targets?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think
I
it's up
trust
to you.
your
You
guys'
got a guy
judgment.
beating you up.
The guy beating me up, the suit of armor?
Yeah, I mean, he's still up there engaging you.
That's true. So put all the missile attacks to the suit of armor.
Yeah, if you could drop it and it's not a threat anymore, that's good.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Then you just have to click damage 3 times.
Okay.
They automatically hit as you take a step back and just extend your hand and watch as 3 bolts of energy leap out and all impact square on the suit of armor as it picks itself up and begins to lumber back towards you. Dagon is up.
I'm going to wheel around and come up behind the other suit of armor and take, again, the hand axe and the torch attack on him.
Fair enough. The suit of armor is trying to figure out which way it's... You can tell it's overwhelmed with a number of targets. And hit damage. Yep. That is not going to hit. But that's a solid bit of damage that you doled out.
Yeah, it was max damage for him.
Yeah, as you continue to push onto it, Azteki. As you continue to kind of pound away on this one suit of armor, what's Azteki doing?
We got to finish it off. I'm going to stick on the suit of armor. And try to put myself between it and Samara as I'm swinging away. Let's go.
Okay. That is not going to connect. You're swinging.
Flail is failing me.
Yeah, your flail is failing you. It's an impressive series of attacks as you advance and feint and advance and feint and realize that you are actually doing nothing, but you're looking really good doing it. If you actually hit, it sounds even better, but for now you have to sell it for the whole looks cool.
I'm like shadow boxing right now.
Yeah, it's like fighting a training dummy. What is our dwarf doing now that he's shown his prowess at the dodge?
I'm gonna grab the short swords and run in, see if I can chop that guy up. If not, do some damage.
All right. As the party continues to surround and overwhelm the singular target.
I'm gonna reroll that one, if that's okay with everyone else.
Sure, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
You still have another reroll in the bank. That's definitely going to hit. And do you have a second attack, or is that...
Yeah, I get a second attack.
Let's see here.
Wow, these
7.
ones, man. I think that's the 4th one I've rolled tonight.
Yep. Are we burning another reroll on it?
It's up to you guys.
I'm fine with trying to drop it.
All right. I mean, I do get that extra d6, so
Yeah, I think we're good. I
not
think we
much
got
better.
No, it's not going to be enough to get through. Unfortunately. You push in on it, and it's armor. It's not great armor, but it's armor. And it's able to hold its own against you.
Oh, I'm just attacking the portrait with the swords.
It turns and launches its attack down on the most recent person to connect with it, which would be Frederick. And one of the 2 attacks connects as it pushes through, doing 4 damage, and sends you falling backwards. as it continues to find a target to lash out at through this wall of steel that has been presented to it. That's dead. All right. This thing needs to do something interesting.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, it's not hitting anything today. I keep aiming. Well, you know what? The nearest target now is Dagon, so let's hit the nearest target. Yow. Yow. As Dagon takes 13 divine damage.
Ouch.
As it finally connects.
Oh no. It's Dagon.
As it bolts
I'm
of
out. I'm on the
divine
floor.
energy fly out of the portrait and into your brawler.
Oh no.
And Dagon is forced to take a knee. And then some. Which now falls to Samara.
Okay.
As a quick recap, the one bit of armor in front of you is bloodied, so it's pretty far down. The portrait has been hurt, but is not significantly badly off.
Okay. I think we'll take out the armor. It's almost dead. Or gone. I mean, it's
Okay.
bloodied. I don't know. What do you guys think? Take out the armor, or I think that's the way to go, right?
Yeah, take out the armor.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
I mean,
Just gonna firebolt it.
Okay, fire away. That'll hit. Wow.
Eesh,
Talk
finally.
about
We
clutch.
needed that one.
Jeez, natural 20. Roll the damage.
Good roll.
For the critical hit, 9 damage. Apparently you need to call on her more often. As Samara takes a step forward, reaches over Azteki's shoulder, and just balls of flame fly out of her palm and consume what's left of the armor, melting it in front of you. Dagon is going to roll a d20, although I think it's probably not going to matter. But just, as is necessary.
oh no.
And he fails. He's one step towards death. Azteki, what are you doing?
I guess I gotta engage with the portrait because everything else is dead, right? We defeated the armor and we just got the portrait.
Yes. If that's your strategy, yes.
Is there any way that?
Or you could heal the 0 hit point fighter.
Well, I don't know if I should save the spells or go all in on the spells. Like, because I have lay of hands, or can you mend to bring somebody back? Like, how does that work?
I mean, you could just lay on hands.
You can lay on hands. You could also do another cure wounds.
Okay.
You could literally hit me with 1 point with land hands, and it'll stop me from making death saves.
Yes, because you do have a pool to play with that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, your lay of
Yeah,
hands.
you can divide it however you want.
Yep, you have 10 points you can dole out.
Oh, okay.
So you could use
And
your action.
That counts as my action.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, then the 1 point lay of hands to get everybody up for the final boss fight.
You think this is the final boss fight?
I was gonna say, I don't think this is the final
That's
boss
so
fight. I think
cute.
it's just
Well, to take out to finish off the portrait.
That's so cute.
Oh, sorry. Side note. I think
Everything is the boss fight.
the cameras have frozen for some of us.
No. Oh, on the stream.
Yes, on the stream.
Oh
sorry.
yeah, the stream's frozen
Well,
Oh.
yes.
except for you, Lantern.
Oh. I can fix that. Let me fix that. I think.
All right.
Okie dokie.
Restroom break.
Yeah, I'm gonna go kiss the daughter real quick. She came
Okay.
here for that. I'll be right back.
Quick technical issue.
Aw.
There we go. Oh. Yeah, so all I gotta do is finish off the portrait. This should be a really, like, I feel bad that we noticed that now because we had, you guys are just about done with this fight, and I was going to take an official break at that point, which we still can do, like a full 5 when that happens. D&D with a peanut gallery. You know, I'm not going to lie. There is something really slick about, having an audience for this, which is a little weird. No.
Yeah, I think that it's good having that commentary.
Yeah, it's not distracting at all, actually. I feel like I finally hit my stride with being able to follow the chat and the game.
Yeah, I think it adds to it.
Yeah, it's fun. And it's also, I think we're at like the right level where it's not so bad as to, like we're able to still interact with our chat. Whereas I've watched a few D&D streams where it's like the chat only interacts with chat because the players never have a chance to see it because they're so engrossed in their game and there's so many people at the table that they have to do that. Speaking of have to do that, Azteki is going to pick up Dagon. We're back to the top of the initiative round. We fixed the video glitch and Frederick has an action.
So last time I meant actually to run up and slash the portrait with my scimitars. So I'm going to do that this time.
Okay. Roll me a couple of hits. This should not be... Actually, roll it, because if you roll a 1, you miss, but... Yep, those are both going to hit, so give me some damage. It's not exactly an impressive amount. Oh, you're shifting the mark to it? Hmm?
The portrait had the mark?
Okay.
I put it on there the first time.
Yeah, but you were rolling your bonus damage on the one of the suits of armor, too.
I did. Well, so here's what I thought I was charging the portrait, and I didn't realize
That's
that you said I was attacking the armor.
Okay.
And I was like, because I was like,
6,
the slashing
10,
or the piercing didn't
14.
deal damage. So I went to the slash, and then you were like on the armor, and I'm like, that's not what I meant.
Okay. Then that was on me. Okay. No problems. Frederick begins to beat and hack away at the portrait. And you can see the canvas is becoming shredded as he has no difficulty connecting with it, but continues to shred it. Through the various tears, you can see the cleric inside the painting is still active and he's burned all those spell slots. What's he got left? Not a lot. Yeah, I'm digging that. We'll do that against Frederick, and that is going to miss. Okay. As he continues you can see that he pulls a warhammer off of his belt and presents it. And in the same instant, a spiritual hammer appears in the space next to Frederick and engages him. So in addition to the portrait casting magic, there is now a glowing divine weapon in space fighting your ranger at the direction of the painting.
This guy cheats.
It has not yet hit him, but it's definitely putting him onto his heels. Which then brings us to Samara Starfall's action.
Oh dear. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna attack the source of this, which is the portrait.
Okay.
So
Firebolt?
Yeah, let's firebolt it up.
It's a good standard attack. It does not miss, so let's get some damage.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to miss a portrait.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
It is an impressive 1 damage.
Lots of ones.
Yeah, you guys have been hitting pretty well. At your damage rolls have been terrible.
The misses.
Dagon picks himself up, and he can do something this action.
I would like to charge towards that portrait with the torch. I'll pick it up off the ground.
Okay.
And I'll say, I told you were next. And I'll run in and I just want to burn that thing. I want to light the portrait on fire.
Okay. Roll damage. So roll me 2d6.
Nice.
As you just hold the torch against the canvas and watch as it begins to burn and crackle. I'll take it. Azteki, what is our cavalier doing?
I guess I'm gonna go and take a swing at the painting. And see if I can connect.
Art.
Oh, should I throw the hammer? I haven't thrown the hammer. I'm gonna throw the hammer at it. I'm gonna use my own hammer.
Go punch it. Okay, throw the hammer. You do you.
You do you. Roll the attack.
For the light hammer.
Light hammer comes off the belt, connects easily. Give me some damage. I think it's going to get one more action before you guys finish it off. We'll see what happens with the dice, if they favor you or it tonight. The armor is not acting. Oh, Frederick, you're up.
Slashy, slashy.
Slashy, slashy. Go for it.
Oh, come on.
Okay. So attack and damage. Give me another. You're going to do 2, I assume. So attack and damage. And here's the funny part. Oh, wait. That's right. One's automatically miss, unfortunately. That will the 20 will hit, though, for 7 plus your bonus. And is it enough? Yes, it is. That was an impressive burst damage out of our ranger.
Huzzah.
And the
Chop, chop,
portrait
burn down.
is now tattered canvas hanging in a wooden frame. There's a large section that's been burned away, and the rest has just been ribboned by the scimitar, by the scimitars from the Dwarven Ranger. And then it's really quiet.
I'm going to immediately check down that hallway just to make sure, kind of stand at defense, make sure nothing's coming down that way at us.
Oh, coming up the hallway near you?
Yeah, because I got 1 hit point. I want to make sure I can see something coming.
It is utterly silent. Silent as the grave at the moment.
Heading.
Just say. And you have an opportunity to catch your breaths.
Like a short rest breath?
Do you want to spend an hour sitting here licking your wounds?
No, not really.
Not particularly, no.
This would be a time, though, you could, a healing with healing spells or other healing would be wise at this time. But, in the moment, you are definitely in a bit of you can at least pause to collect your thoughts and connoiter.
I'm going to go ahead and tap Dagon on the back and give him that cure wound spell that I have told no one about.
Go for it. How much is it getting back?
Ooh, those rolls, man, that's awful.
Well, he's at 4 hit points now. But it'll work out.
I completely forgot about bless. Should I have blessed us? That buff could have made a huge difference or not.
Next time.
Or should I save it? Should I just save it for or use the heal? Because I got 1 spell left.
Bless is going to give. You can bless will give somebody a plus D4 to attack rolls or saving throws for the duration of the spell. I would say tactically, healing's probably gonna get you more bang for your buck, but that's usually where I tend to fall to.
Well, I read it as 3 creatures of your choice, so I could bless like all the
Up to 3.
melee.
Oh, you're right. Yep. So you can block
Yeah.
it. Yeah. That's a tough call.
Because, yeah, I think I should go with that and rely on lay of hands for the healing. I don't know. Like a low heal when we're getting hit for 12, maybe more saving throws is better. I feel kind of bad that I didn't do it before. But what do you guys think? I trusted in the team.
Well, I'm at a point where if I get hit, I'm probably going down.
Yeah, if you keep them from dying in one hit, I think it'd be worth it.
Okay. Then I'll use Cure Wounds too. And we'll play around with Bless next time.
Okay. So roll the dice for
roll.
that cure wound. See how much Dagon gets back.
Oh, nice. We needed that.
Woo!
Oh, that's nice indeed.
Much better.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to show me how to do that.
You guys aren't in too bad a shape. The paladin's burned all of his spells. The wizard's burned 2 of hers. And you're not bleeding to death.
Huzzah.
That's pretty
Yeah, I'm gonna
good.
say, yeah, thanks, Bird Boy. Appreciate that.
And again, as you cast, you can actually feel that same energy. It's not so much bird-esque as you just suddenly feel a surge of knowledge with it. An awareness that there is greatness in the person you are imbuing with energy and potential forward for them. It feels like you've got a connection going on. As you look around, there's not a lot more to notice in this space. The braziers are continuing to burn. So there's kind of like a small layer of smoke along the top of the hallway as it kind of drifts down and out where you came in. And you again notice that there's maintenance. Some of the stones under your feet have been repaired or recently broken. So the cracks are still jagged. They're not completely smoothed over with time. And even the portrait seems to have been maintained. At least the woodwork on the frame is not in bad shape. Do you want to continue here, or are we venturing forth?
I'm
down for
the
venturing
wall,
forth.
the wall behind the portrait,
Mm-hmm.
just to see like it seemed like the portrait was magic, but Dagon's not very smart. He would just be like, "What?" Start messing with the wall.
Okay, the wall is fully intact.
Where'd that guy go?
There's nothing behind you. You can actually swing the frame away from the wall a bit to see. And you can see where the arrows have gone through the canvas and into the wood framing of it. And one of the arrows is pushed through that, even into the stone bit of the wall. But it's, it's not as overgrown with moss as the outside. This wall itself is a little bit less maintained, but that could be because it was behind stuff. It wasn't as easily noticed.
Did the floating hammer mace thing disappear?
Disappeared.
Or is it on the floor?
Disappeared when the portrait was dissipated. And even looking into what's left of as you kind of like pick up the tattered bits of canvas, there's just like a dark void. There's no sign of the priest who had been in the painting when you engaged it.
Magic.
Whatever magic had bound that soul has been freed. Is he in a better place? It's hard to say.
The other thing I'd like to do is grab that cover that was on the
Okay.
portrait. Is
That's
there anything weird about it? It just seemed like a normal cloth of some sort.
black linen. Nothing particularly interesting with it. Some creases here and there from where it has been tucked over the frame for a while, but that's about all that really sticks out with it.
All right. I say we continue onward. And now, do we want to go down the path that was boarded up? Or do we want to peek around that corner that is open? See what lies down that hallway.
I got a kind of a weird like Wizard of Oz feeling here, like that boarded up wall or the boarded up way might be like behind the curtain.
Well, I mean, the weird portrait was behind the curtain, right?
Have you already been
I mean,
behind
can
the?
we peek through the boards?
Have you already been behind? I don't know. It's hard to say.
I don't know. I'm game for either way.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, kind of want to see what's around the corner, but I also kind of want to investigate the boarded up section just to see if the pieces of wood that were used are recent or if have they been there a while.
Sounds like an investigation check.
Mm-hmm. All right.
The wizard goes over, begins poking away at the wood, prying at it in spots, testing to see if it's solid or maintained. That's a pretty good roll. With an 18, you are able to discern that the wood construction is older. The nails that are holding it in place are the nail heads are rusted over. You can see like some brown spaces where the rust is leached into the wood, but it is maintained. So you can see that it hasn't rotted through. It has a thick layer of lacquer on it to keep it from the elements. So it's hard to say when it was put in place, but it definitely has been touched within the last 100 years, whereas it seems like everything else down here is, not that lucky.
Right. Yeah. Somebody has been maintaining it every so often.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a concerted effort to keep people from going this particular way.
Okay.
And I think we should heed those warnings and not go down that way.
I mean,
we're sitting here to investigate, right? I mean, shouldn't we investigate something that was more recently changed?
We could pry a board off and just peek.
Realistically, they said it was 18 months ago that things changed, so it might not matter.
Everyone looks at
I
the
don't know.
paladin for a decision.
Oh, the paladin says skip. Charge forward.
When in doubt, the paladin picks. No, I'll let you guys decide what the plan is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's viable.
I agree that it's been boarded up for a reason, and I don't know if we should investigate that maybe later.
The good news, you don't have to pry. If you want to reach a torch through or throw a torch through or something like that, you could do that. It's not like it's a solid wall. It's just some wood frames and then some boards across it to discourage people from climbing through.
Okay.
By dark vision?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think you probably could get it dark enough to get your eyes to adjust to look into there with the limited light available. As you look down the hallway, you can see where it opens up into probably another room, where there's some broken furniture and probably what once was a wine keg. The most important features you pick up is that there's zero maintenance inside there. You can see everything is covered either in dirt or dust or cobwebs or rodent droppings. The boards might be in good shape, but from what you can tell looking through, no one has gone past this barrier for some time, except for rats, spiders, perhaps the occasional, possum or mole or something. Maybe even a raccoon.
Doesn't look like there's much in there, unless you're like scientifically wondering if that old wine barrel is full of wine.
Well, we know it was boarded up, or I mean, we're assuming it was boarded up for a reason, but I don't know if we should go digging around and let something loose that we shouldn't.
I think we're already doing that, so I think that's off the table.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm curious. Why would you board up an area if nobody's been in there, nobody's touched it? It looks all old. I mean, what are you boarding up for?
That's pretty fair. Like I said, it doesn't really look like much. Just old stuff, nasty old stuff.
I'll take a piece of the armor from one of those shattered suits of armor,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna whip it down into that room.
Oh, like through over the barrier into the space?
Yeah, just to make a racket.
It doesn't clang as much as you might think, as it lands mostly in dirt and dust. But there's an echo out of the room. There's no appreciable motion with it. Just a loud clang, and then some, you can, or Frederick would see with the dark vision, have a dust cloud around it. Unfortunately, there's no like sudden like burst of tentacles out of the dirt through the barrier or anything. It's really a rather very anticlimactic.
Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's a slightly different genre. It's adjacent to this one, but yeah, there will not necessarily be tentacles from beyond in this universe. Sorry.
That would be a completely. I mean, you could have the same cast of characters, but we'd definitely be wearing trench coats. I'd have a revolver, crowbar over here, shotgun over there.
Yeah, Samar would still be casting magic. It would just involve lots more Latin incantations.
There you go. All right. Well, I mean, if everybody wants to go investigate, pull off the boards and investigate down that way, I'm down to do that. I am for it.
Let's vote, because my interest is gone. Like, I don't care. I don't think Azteki cares. Do you care, Dagan?
I could go either way. It just seems weird that it's boarded up if there's nothing in there.
Well,
Yeah.
and if you want to go in there, I mean, that's two people who don't care, not two people who say no. So if two people want to go, then that makes sense to go.
I mean, I could go either way. Also, like I don't mind investigating the other hallway, which we don't know what's down that way.
All right.
Start peeling
The
up the board.
Cavalier has had enough discussion about it, and I'm tearing off the boards without saying another word.
I'm helping. And that's just my tiny arms can help.
Is enough. And it's not actually all that hard to pry the boards off. I mean, they're in, but they're not like as you grab onto the first 2x4 and pull, you're immediately taken by the fact these were not like meant to stop anybody who wanted to get through. And so the boards come off fairly easily as you pull and yank and cast aside. You can step into the space with your torch, and you are in what would have been some kind of servants' quarters, perhaps. There are two passages out of it that are completely filled with rubble and unpassable. There are several broken, what might have been beds. And for the most part, lots of piles of dirt. And you can see where some of the wall of the foundation has broken inward and the dirt has spilled in over time. This room probably hasn't been accessed by anyone in generations. As you notice, the cobwebs filling the corners, and when you step, there's like palatable levels of dust and dirt on the ground.
Oh, when we run into the janitor, he might not be too pleased with us, guys. He's got a whole new room to clean now.
Yeah. it almost, as you look at the room that you've stepped into and you look at the woodwork you've pulled away, it's almost more like the wood framings were meant to discourage people from wandering in here, but not so much to stop anyone who was dedicated.
Look, nothing. Can we move on?
Yeah. Hold on just one second. I'm gonna look in the wine cask.
Yeah.
I thought there was nothing. It's a dead end.
Okay. Fair enough.
We just wanted to see if the wine cast followed the rules of all the other stuff elsewhere.
Exactly.
For science.
With that small bit of insight, there is a moment of like, wait a second, there are no supplies here. This base appears to be immune to the curse.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's weird. Science is scary.
Less undead.
Well, I'm glad I brought those extra sticky buns.
The portrait attacking you wasn't weird. The fact that there isn't fresh food here is.
100%.
Your party has developed an
Yeah.
interesting definition of weird. So you make your way.
Satisfied.
Yeah, the space is definitely not up to code. That's a whole different story. We can agree on that. Having exhausted this particular side avenue, you start to make your way deeper into the space. You turn around the corner and you're brought into the entrance of a large, open, almost auditorium-like space. At the far end, you can see there is an altar and what would have been in rows of benches that have been relatively recently brought in to create kind of a series of rows of seating before the space. As you glance off to your right, you can see another entrance that is filled with rubble and is blocked off. So thinking about this geographically, the hallway split and they both probably then went around this block into the space. So you now have a clean path in. The ceiling is not that much higher than the hallway outside because, again, you're in the main foundation of the building. It slopes down a bit to create the illusion of more height, but not like 30 feet or anything. It's more probably a very low grade. So probably the ceiling where you're at is about 10 feet and all the way at the far end of the room is maybe 16, 17 feet. But you can see as it opens out around you and then kind of funnels down to that center point of worship that would be down there. First actions or impressions or questions about the space?
Right. What does it look like they sacrificed there?
Yeah. Is there
Is it
anything?
children?
Is there anything on the altar currently?
The altar is currently bare. You can see on the altar is a book that is currently closed. There are no signs of any offerings in the space. So there's no baskets, there are no carcasses.
Okay. I think I would like to maybe investigate the book that's on the altar.
Okay, so Samara starts to walk into the space. What's everybody else doing?
Yep. I'm going in.
Go with her. But I also want to look for any sort of like symbols or like religious iconography that's around here, like on the altar.
Okay. As you approach, you can see where there are alcoves around the back of the altar where there would have been some kind of statuary that are currently empty. In their places are candlesticks or just wax candles sitting on the alcove shelf. There are no other major trappings of any particular faith in this space. As Techie, without having to expend an action, can tell this is not a place of good. That is something that just That immediately hits you. That there is not good in this space. It's not a sense of evil, but it is definitely not a positive energy. As Samara starts to cross the room, you all four immediately hear a voice from one corner of the space. Ooh, the elf goes first. She doesn't bring an offering. Yes, no, she does not. A second voice immediately answers.
Hello? Who's there?
A third voice from the back room. Maybe they have learned. Perhaps this is the end.
Thank you for calling the Whisper Docs 24/7 Pet Helpline provided to you by Pets Best. My name is
The end of what?
Sorry to-
Show yourselves.
were you calling
What are
us
we
about-
supposed to offer? Why will no one tell me?
Have you called us before?
The offerings will never cease. They don't learn.
All right, what's your last name?
Who are you?
There's no direct answer to your query as you start to approach the altar.
Anita.
Oh no, we're on Twitch.
All right. I was in the process of speaking with her earlier, and then she got another
Significance?
call, and said she was going to call back. So
No, I was
fantastic.
joking.
So,
Okay.
so she had started
You start to approach. As you get closer, the voices continue to sound.
Bella has been doing, and that's when she got cut off.
The voice that was the second
So that
continues to ask, but they're not bringing an offering. Do they really think? Have they learned?
let me go back and
And the voice from behind the altar is the loudest of the three,
congestive heart failure.
and is very clear to you.
And there were some
You are not part of
about she also had
Moon's Hollow. You do not belong.
and
This is not your
last time
battle.
that she called.
Yes, not your battle. Go back.
How are things going? Oh, hi.
We were sent here on behalf of the people of Moon's Hollow.
Were you sent with an offering? I don't think you were sent with an offering. How do we know they really sent you? Would they have learned?
Okay.
We were sent with no offerings, but merely to investigate this space.
The voice from the back. Have you come to end the attacks?
Okay.
Yes.
There will be no end to the attacks. You may return to Moon's Hollow. Yes. No end. They have not learned.
Learned what?
Again, the voice from the back. This is not your quest for justice. This is not your vengeance to be had. We ask you again to return from whence you came and purge your memories of Moon's Hollow.
Well, now I got some beef with that because your buddies there out in the back alley there, the front, they didn't play fair.
Yeah, we didn't come here by choice. We've kind of been just like running on fumes to get here because we didn't know where else to go because we got eaten by mist.
They don't know where to go. They can't get past the mists. And they didn't bring an offering. Why should we help them? We will allow them to leave if they come no further. Leave and forever forget of Moon's Hollow, and we believe the mists will let you pass.
Oh no.
What do you know of these myths? But I have a feeling you're not going to tell me.
Kitty. Yes.
This is not your justice. You have no need for vengeance. Vengeance is ours. Vengeance is ours. I
No,
personally
we've got,
like that portrait. I thought that was very nice of us. I do think it discourages people from trying to make amends. We aren't here for amends. We're here for justice.
So you're behind the portrait.
The portrait was to dissuade those that would attempt to disrupt. We are giving you one last opportunity to leave.
Oh no. What do we do, guys?
Yeah, it's a little easier on the stomach than
Oh.
the stomachs.
Is your quest for righteousness great enough to risk?
Well, I know mine is, and I'm tired of the whispers behind the curtain. I demand that you show yourselves because we are here for righteous justice to protect the people who sent us here.
And you want an offering? I'm just going to knock the book off the altar. There's your offering.
Alea
God.
ecta
I wanna read the
es.
book.
The die has been cast. And as you stand at the altar and cast the book aside, you watch as opposite you immediately a body rises up out of the earth. And she bears a striking resemblance
Uh-oh.
to the warrior you defeated outside the smithy. As she pulls her
God.
broadsword off of her back and pulls a shield up in front and steps up onto the altar to look down on you. And around the periphery of the room you are in, 4 more forms step out of the stonework as you see 4 more armored zombies enter the space. If you got to pee, you want to do it now, but roll for initiative first so I can set everything up, and we're going to take a 5-minute stretch.
Oh my gosh.
You see what happens when you get me excited as techie? I start doing stupid things.
Make sure you guys have a sense of
I've only got a
I got a
tactical
problem
space.
with
Run.
people whispering behind curtains, telling me about justice. I am justice.
What happened at that paladin school, bro?
Something must have happened to you when you went to paladin school. I don't know.
So that's
Get
the
some
rough
water.
space there. I'm going to go ahead and put the board up here. Get you guys all positioned. This is going to be awesome. So it's techies up front. Samara's there. I love Gadget's sense of humor. I am justice. I am the knight. I am that. I'm going to take us into DM mode. So as I figure out where my cursor is. And then I guess I should load the upload from my device. And then I'm actually going to put you guys into a timeout so I can run to the John myself. Let's see, where are they? There they are. Bing. I'm going to put these on the board. I'm going to make a quick run upstairs myself. The downside to shrinking this is you lose this beautiful resolution of these tokens. Because she just looks badass. Boom. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put you guys into a 3-minute break. I'm going to be right back. If you're here, hopefully you hang around for a bit longer. We'll be right back with everybody. If I can type. Yes, this is 5th edition. See you guys on the back end of the 3 minutes. get us all back to the table.
All right.
You know, that transition is supposed to be smooth. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, well. Such is the way of things. All right, let me get all you guys in here. I got the board up. That's kind of roughly where everyone seemed to be. Feel free to move yourselves if you think you're somewhere else.
Nope, that's accurate for me anyway.
So we'll put that on there. Oh, bollocks. I thought I saved this encounter. And it appears I did not. That annoys the crap out of me. So I'm going to have to do this. And there's that. And then I'll get everybody in.
Like her zombie hair.
Pardon?
Pimo Benden.
The lady we fought before, her like zombie hair looks cool.
Well, thank you, thank you. I had some fun making the tokens and everything. I kind of figured if I'm working in this medium, I may as well like put a little bit of extra in on the whole, making everything look good. I had attempted earlier to by the way, Dagon, that is a brilliant use of a 20.
I believe that it helps
I'm sure that was your thought. Like, what do I need to do? I need to roll a natural 20 on initiative. Which, you know what? Given the circumstances, I will let you freely put you and Samara anywhere you want on the board. With a natural 20 for your initiative, you have obviously such a strong command presence of the area, you can grab Samara and move to wherever you think you want the two of you to be.
for congestive heart failure, yes, and they work well in concert together.
If you want to be anywhere else. If you're liking where you are, don't move.
Well, could I potentially push her back to be like behind Azteki, or like maybe between Azteki and her?
Sure. That's perfectly reasonable. I'm down with that.
Sounds good to me.
That's reasonable. And let me go to... Let's see, we want everything on the screen, so I think I'm going to go ahead and switch to this mode. There we go.
Not a problem. It's hard to
Ironfish Distillery, located in Thompsonville, Michigan. The best gin and whiskeys you can find, made in Michigan.
Oh, good to know.
They do ship.
Oh, do they?
They do.
Oh, what is the name again?
Ironfish.
Ironfish.
Ironfish. However, they also will promise to come on your stream to talk about the nature of distilling and the making of moonshine, and then ghost you after the second email.
Oh no. Oh, no. Well,
So, on the one hand, the Lord giveth,
I will stick to ordering from them then, I guess.
and the Lord taketh away. You also do have a reroll in your
Put
bank.
stuff in your cart and then not actually check out.
And you can find the stuff around downstate too. It's in a lot of places, but it's so good.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out.
It's really good. Anywho. All right. Any outstanding questions before we get this combat up and rolling? As the spirits of this ritual space are not okay with you being here. And then again, for significance, this would be the book.
They made that clear.
There's the book that you smashed. And of course, there were all the benches and stuff that you guys are going to have to climb over and around as needed in the space. And maybe there's a big old column there and a big old column there, and columns here and here with the alcoves along there. Not that those are highly relevant to the combat, but just to provide some context. And you have a current reroll in the bank if you should need it. You have one on hand.
We may need it, so that's good to know.
Okay. Any other outstanding questions, or is it going to now fall to the actions of one Dagon?
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Dagon, you're up. What's up? What's he doing in this moment? He's turned around. He's shoved Samara back into cover, come around to face what once was the greatest warrior in Moon's Hollow, and then chooses to...
I would like to push her off the altar. Just shove her ass right over the back.
Okay. I believe that's an attack roll, but I'm going to just for my peace of mind, I'm going to triple check it. It's an action in combat, right?
She wants to talk. She didn't want to talk last time.
There we go. Actions in combat. Why is it never where I can find it so I can confirm it? Okay.
Because it's 20.
Yeah, make an attack roll. Yay, 5th edition for making everything easy to find. This is where D&D Beyond fails me. Well, here's the bad news. I don't think that's going to have the effect you want it to have.
No, probably not.
No. So the good news is what the particulars of the attack are, not relevant. Because I don't believe that's going to get past her AC anyways. No, that is going to fall short. So as you step up and reach out with your experience with brawling, she sidesteps. She gets off the altar, but she is not pushed back off of it. She's coming down of her own choice. The two zombies on either side are going to begin to move in, and I believe the nearest person they can go after. So the two zombies on the left will be 3 and 4 are going to come in on Frederick as their first target. Azteki, did you want to intervene on either of those?
Does it cost me anything?
It would cost you your bonus action to block one of the two.
And that's once per fight?
Once per combat round. So you wouldn't be able to block for somebody again until next round.
Okay.
Or do you want to save that in case any go after Samara?
Where am I at in this?
Kind of in the...
Yeah, I'll save it for tomorrow for now.
Good luck, Frederick.
Okay, sorry, Frederick.
Let's see. Okay, one does manage to get through with a hit. And he hits like a freight train for 10.
Jesus.
Come on, Robin. What kind of shit is that?
It's called a natural 20
It seemed
behind
like a
the screen.
legitimate strategy. I don't know.
Called a natural 20 behind the screen is what it is, my friend. Here's the good news.
No, I'm not talking about you. I was talking about Bird Boy over here not protecting me.
Here's the good news. It's your action.
All right, I guess I'll mark the guy who whacked me and oh man. I don't know. I don't want to stay here anymore. But I don't know if running away is a good idea. I guess I'll see if I can put however much space as I can between them and me, and then shoot them with an arrow.
Okay. It's fighting retreat. They are not fast creatures.
Okay.
So let's just slip back and out of that. Roll the bones. So you're marking the one that hit you, and then you're going to shoot it. that is not going to hit it
has a blood clot,
as
or
the
is it
arrow
that she's
flies
Okay.
wide. Which is logical. I mean, you just got the tar beat out of you. You're going to have a rough go. Let's see. Who am I at? This is 2. It's going to lumber in towards
Okay.
Dagon
Okay.
and not probably fully engage just yet. Azteki, what is the Cavalier doing? What is our Paladin's action?
Do I get bonus attack against marked targets, or is it just
know as much about
no?
restriction
Okay.
No, that's a hunter. That's a
It's
ranger
not-
thing.
is not as
Oh, okay.
as hypertrophic.
You get to lay on
Um,
hands, and you get to bless, and you get to cure, and you get righteous fury because you still have a spell slot available to you.
Both the Plavix and the Xarelto are both anti.
Oh, you don't. You
Divine-
used it. That's right. Never mind.
yeah, I use my
Use
two.
both. Yeah.
Or an inhibitor.
So we're on lay of hands. We're on the tank is empty and we're going
Yeah.
into reserves.
Is
You can go. You can lean in on something.
Yeah, I'm just deciding what do you guys think I should engage? Do you think I should engage the boss or should we stay on the ads?
I would really like it if you lock in on those 2 that are attacking me.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to double check. I don't want to make any more mistakes. I'll engage with the 2 that you're running away from. You're bravely running away.
I mean, if you would have defended me, it might have been a different story.
That's right.
Can't always be there. I was distracted.
Belatedly,
happens.
Azteki steps in to fight, takes a swing, and engages the first of the 2.
All right. So let me see if I hit.
Bangs the shaft of his flail against his shield and leans into one of them. I need a damage roll with that because that's definitely going to connect.
Nice.
And a whopping 4. I am going to make a note.
Seems to be the theme of the night.
I mean, yes, we do have a, or what is it, a reroll?
You have a reroll handy.
I don't know if you want to use it on this particular.
Yeah, you might save that for a bit later, but don't forget you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll save it.
Let's see. That then falls to Samara as an action.
All right.
As she stands kind of in the middle of this semicircle you guys have sort of carved out for each other.
So I guess I'm going to also try to attack one of the zombies that was attacking Frederick
Okay.
with a firebolt.
All right. You pull back, create a ball of fire within your hands, and throw it off to the side.
Oh, okay. No, that's
Oh,
okay.
come on. That
That-
almost landed on a 20. What the heck?
That's good enough to hit though.
Other 2 forms of cardiomyopathy, they're not usually on 2 different types.
Not for a lot, but it counts.
Yeah.
And that may just be that Xarelto's a pretty
And it continues to be whittled down a bit by bit.
comparatively, which is
Let's see here. That then goes to the last of them is going to step in
going on with
and close off the back.
and this medication.
His action is going to be to moving into position.
Calling, yeah.
And then we have the warrior. Shaz is going to step around the altar
So,
and
that's what's going on in
engage Dagon directly.
I think. So, that's
She is not in a good mood,
but
obviously.
so it may be that it's just such a
Her sword lands
used everywhere.
to either side of you as you step back, and she continues to lumber forward, but you're able to dodge its blades and maintain your sense of the fight. Speaking of which, Dagon, you're up.
All right.
Probably in humans.
Sheesh. All right. I think I will attack the one that is on
They are.
this one here. That's in both of our threat ranges.
Okay, the
I think anything that
the armored zombie is what you're gonna ignore the big one and go after the little guy.
Well, it makes me nervous that there's two that can strike Samara. So
Okay, that's fair.
sorry about that.
all right, so I'd like to hit it with the hand axe and then try to use my bonus action to grapple it and see if I can like at least just pull it out of range of her.
Okay.
One chamber of the heart.
No, we can make that work. We can make that work.
Cardiomyopathy is
That'll hit. That'll damage it.
yeah, and hypertrophic cardiomyopathy.
And then the grapple.
Atrial issue, I believe.
It's a strength check, right?
Yes,
Atrial issue.
I think.
But
I'll double check in just
I
a second.
think
That would be
the diabetic cardiomyopathy
that one.
and
I don't think that's going to be enough, no matter what.
have a risk.
But I'll definitely hit it with the axe though.
Those, I mean, so does
Yeah.
they all do. But
I know I actually, because I knew it was going to come up a lot, I actually tagged
then hypertrophic
grappling
cardiomyopathy,
so I could look it up quick. I threw a bookmark on it.
the
I like to make things weird.
blood becomes
You do, but that's okay.
trapped in the heart and doesn't circulate as well. So blood kind of just stays there, hanging out, and is more likely to
Grappling. There it is.
non-moving blood is
Okay, it would be an attack, which is what you would have rolled anyways.
it's supposed to be circulating.
No, you have to actually succeed in your attack check. So you make a reach for it, and it kind of lumbers away from you and kind of swats your hand away as you try to grab onto its armor and pull it away from her. It was a good effort. Let's see.
Not that counts.
There's one of them that's now, the two that we're fighting Frederick are now blocked off by Azteki, so they'll focus on him.
I think that it probably
And let's see, the first one
happened is the muscles
connects, the second one does not.
are
Azteki takes a whopping 5 as as its rusted blade comes down and finds that open space just at the edge of the shoulder blade in the armor. And you can feel that searing shot as it digs into the side of your shoulder. Frederick, you're up.
so the blood is just kind of it's just kind of
I'll penetrate the zombie again. Hopefully, I have regained my composure.
Have you regained your composure? You let loose another arrow into the zombie next to Azteki, who is now doing what you had hoped he would do.
flowing around the body.
Better late than never.
Who knows?
And you
Can I use
appreciate it
that
so much
roll?
that you miss. The arrow
I'll
again
use that
flies
reroll.
wide.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I see
gosh.
Burn the reroll.
We could be in trouble here.
Yeah, these dice are not
Yep.
being favorable.
Could be bad.
There's a little part of me that is thinking about the last 2 sessions and suddenly like, oh, that's right. There's that law of averages. Okay.
I mean, these computer averages are not average.
Okay. One of them continues to lumber forward, and it is going to. Dagon's got that one pretty well engaged. The other one is going to take its shot at Samara because she's there. And
Oh, can I help her now? Is that an option?
is she within reach? Yeah. You can totally
All
do
right.
that.
So I did save it for you.
Well, you would have been able to use it before and then use it again this time.
Yeah, it's every time your action comes
Oh.
up, it refreshes. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There may be another
All right. I got to be more aggressive with the protection. Is
Yes.
what we're saying. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm learning. I'm a
learning.
newbie paladin here, people.
So here's the good news. It made a difference. And it's a good thing it did because my first roll was actually a natural 20. So being forced to re-roll
my
that,
God.
Oh my. I
Yeah.
would have died.
being forced to re-roll that would have helped.
Hey,
So good move. Samara fires her firebolt to 1 and then turns around to look up to see 2 hands of broadsword coming straight down center with her body, only to then see the entire zombie be pushed out of the way as Azteki sidesteps and shoves him with his shield. Who now has an action?
Yay.
The one that was just pounding on Samara, or do you want to turn around and re-engage the one on the other side of you? You also now have a second reroll in your bank. You have 2 rerolls banked.
Cool.
The second bet.
I think we should finish off one of the hurt ones,
Okay?
right? And that one's over by Frederick, right?
Yep.
Is the one that's the most hurt?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm gonna destroy. It's coming.
That's the spirit.
All right.
Here we go.
Bring the righteous
do
skull
it.
smash.
Sit back and watch this.
What?
And he rolls a natural 1.
Yeah, can't do much else. So
Does it hit, or do we use in one of those rerolls?
Think.
Highly suggest a reroll.
yeah, take that reroll.
Poor thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
nobody saw that.
Nobody saw that.
Oh no!
The dice, man.
A 5 for a total of 10, which
dice
would clank
do
will
not
clank
like
off his armor. You still have 1 reroll in the bank, or do we want to bank it?
sure.
It's up to you.
I don't know. I feel like with our luck, we may
Yeah,
need it
for the,
later.
the
I don't know.
death save that we're gonna have to make in a second here.
The respiratory signs that the Veriflax was prescribed for.
Well, I won't use it if you guys want to save it.
Oh, we have 2 rerolls in the bank now. Gadget Man Guido is really supporting you guys.
Gotcha.
Thank you,
All
Gadget.
right. All right. For Gadget, guys, one more.
Well,
one
misread.
more
It's
lucky
it's a
one?
+2 to a roll. We
Oh,
can
it's
we
a
can use
+2.
that. They'll if you want to burn that, that'll take you up to a hit.
All right.
Yeah, do it.
I'm good with that.
Okay. So that counts as a hit. Give me some damage.
Okay.
He's gonna roll a 1.
Oh
Right?
my.
That's enough. Oh wait, but does it stay down?
Based on
That is the question.
if it was prescribed for
Oh no.
Yes, it stays down.
and it's been determined
Okay, good.
It is down and
Need a
it
break.
stays down.
her pleural
Good.
Squish.
in her chest.
As
Yes. The softest skull crush ever.
Hey, it
What happens
works.
when the skull gets soft?
It works. We have another +2 to your rolls, by the way. Is put in the bank.
That oh, did they drain?
I need to figure out how to. I'll figure that out next time.
They pull fluids manually out of
Samara. Nebula, what is she doing?
Okay. So, what am I doing? There is. Oh, okay. So there was one zombie that is techie pushed aside, right?
Mm-hmm.
knock on wood.
There's
I
the
guess maybe attack that one.
one that's wounded, one that's been pushed, one that's been squished, and one that's still very healthy.
Technically able to tell you to prescribe or unprescribe medications, but I can tell you what to talk to your friend about.
And of course,
Okay, I
the
think
big
maybe-
scary one that's going to eat Dagon for lunch.
About stopping the Veriflax.
Oh dear.
The fact that it
Oh, dear.
sounds like the issue that the Veriflax was prescribed
The one Dagon's been beating on is pretty.
by other
Let's see, what's it at?
and
It's at bloodied. You can probably finish it off
poorly,
if that's one you want to take
Okay.
out.
be okay to stop that
Sure.
medication.
Okay.
Let's do that.
That thing where you knock them over again, or we on spells?
To think about.
She's got 1 spell left. One
I do.
rank 1, or she's got her cantrips.
Possibly also.
I do. I have one spell left, which I could use on either magic missile, I guess, or earth tremor.
I don't know if Earth Tremor's going to have the bang for the buck you're looking for in this situation.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Finish off the one that's wounded.
Yes.
Okay, roll your attack. As you conjure up another firebolt and let loose. That'll hit. Give me some damage. For the record, you have 2 rerolls and 1
Oh
plus
my.
2 available.
Why?
Oh my god.
Yeah, the +2 will not finish it off, but you could probably reroll, and the odds say you will finish it, or
All
come
right.
close to it.
At least it's not just me.
No.
These
Yeah, what
rolls
is going on
have
today?
been painful to
All
watch.
right, re-roll that one.
You know, I think
And she's gonna roll a
Oh
2.
my goodness.
Oh!
Are you kidding me? What are the chances of that?
Well, the
One
chances are
100, right?
10%.
Yeah.
Moonhaven's
I
curse is real.
Can't.
Yeah, no,
Well,
great.
no, 'cause it's 10% once,
Go ahead and-
but if you do it twice, that's 1%, right?
Yeah,
you're able to stop those medications.
That's insane.
that's gonna leave a mark.
See a good improvement with,
But you hit it.
with the other medications.
You pissed it off.
Don't tend to have a lot of,
That's a good thing, right?
It's mildly perturbed.
Yay.
It's
I've angered it.
going to turn and backhand you
she's feeling quite a bit better. Now, those
'cause
are
it can.
all, tablets, correct?
for 8.
Oh no.
Intercede.
Oh no,
Intercede, Paladin.
that's not good. Oh, Paladin, did you want to intercede on that? Your turn has come and gone.
Yes. Yes. No, I didn't know.
Okay. Fair enough. The reroll saved her. As once again, Azteki's shield between a zombie and Samara saves her life.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to move somewhere else the next turn.
And Shaz is going to continue her attack on Dagon.
I've not heard that.
No, you
before.
don't.
And no, she's not. As she continues to engage ineffectually.
She literally died, not able to hit him, and now she's like, I'm gonna get you, I swear.
Yeah, no kidding. Speaking of which, Dagon, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna try to let's see. I'll try to finish off the one that already hit once.
Okay. And 16 is going to be enough to hit.
Ooh, nice.
It's that bowler hat. It's so intimidating. Yeah, I'm down with that. So 9
Yeah, how
damage.
do you like them apples?
Okay, does it stay down?
Is it still up?
It stays down.
Nice.
Them some good apples.
It stays down. So that's 2 out of the way. So
All right,
that-
I will do my offhand attack on the big boss lady.
All right. As you swing around with your fist and try to connect with flesh, bearing in mind she's sword and shield.
Yeah, that's not gonna
That's
do
not
it.
going to happen. And she swats it away with the back of the shield. She kind of pushes you back, and you actually stumble over one of the benches and pick yourself back up, shake things off, straighten the bowler.
Oh, you gotta make sure it's on right.
Oh, yeah. And that takes us around to... he's dead, but there's still one over there. That's going to continue to press in on Azteki. Somewhat not ineffectually. Hitting for 5 damage.
Totally understand. And yes,
As it continues to just batter and pull at your shield. And rather than actually like cutting into you, it grabs your shield and wrenches in a way your arm's not supposed to bend.
been told that he had
And you can kind of like feel like the muscle pulling in ways as you kind of take a step back and regain your footing.
that's stomatitis. Which is
Frederick is up.
That sounds painful.
Exactly. It was.
almost like an autoimmune reaction to the
I don't like this guy. I'm going to.
inappropriate reaction to the bacteria.
I gotta play law of averages. I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna swing with my short swords, and hopefully I'll hit with one of these attacks.
Okay.
Live a normal life, but otherwise it's extremely painful.
You charge in, and this is the one that's engaging with Azteki.
But it's not. It's much more.
Yeah, the one I marked.
Okay.
See, law of averages. One of them hit.
That this cat had, days to weeks to
Yep.
live, and he was
Give me a
gonna die,
damage
and he was
plus your bonus.
from oral
So let's
cancer,
see.
and our
So a 5,
nope, he's got
and
stomatitis. We extract his teeth, he will be fine.
pretty
And
good.
This cat has lost like 5 pounds since
As you wound it heavily.
looked like skin.
Let's see. There's the one that's hanging out.
Years
over on the other side, it's going to continue its assault on Dagon.
Within 2 weeks, he was doing
And completely ineffectually.
he was
Azteki
Nice.
he was
limping along at those 4 hit points.
bleeding, which he had been doing before, and then
What's your plan, sir?
and actually
I
thought he was dying again.
not exactly sure. Should I lay a hands to keep myself alive?
Hard to feed him,
Because it's not going to help me if I go down. Or should I throw everything into Frederick
trying to feed him that.
that way? Like, I think I should use lay of hands. All right. I'm just deciding, should I use it on me or Frederick?
No, your cat's not
What do you guys think?
If you go down, you can't do anything else. So I would say use it on yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
This 5-year-old
Oh, okay.
given a death sentence.
I might save
So-
1 hit point left of it, just in case.
Exactly, to pick someone back up and get them back in the fight. But
Okay.
So,
So I used 1. So that puts me at 9. So now I get to use 8, which will save 1.
okay.
Okay.
8 to Frederick puts him back at 12 health. Samara's action is up.
oh no,
Wait,
you
no,
wanna
I
do
thought it was
to
for me.
himself.
Oh, to himself.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll apply 8 damage to Frederick and 8 healing
Ow.
to Azteki, taking him to 12.
I just imagine Frederick is like, all of a sudden he feels better. And
Oh,
then
that
all
feels great. It hurts again.
Changed me mind.
This Raven is so mean.
They call them a murder of crows
Realizes
for a
that it
reason.
wasn't heals, it was just gas.
Oh my goodness. I think I am going to try to use like my Misty Step
Oh,
ability to teleport somewhere out of the line of fire so that I can safely do damage next turn.
that makes a lot of sense.
I think Misty Step is a bonus action.
I think it is.
Is it?
Uh,
Oh, I don't know.
casting time, 1 bonus action. So yes, you still have your full combat action.
Oh,
I was gonna say, I'm
yay.
pretty sure it's not like a full, like it's a Fey thing. Once
Okay.
per short rest, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah, you literally
Very
like
good.
sweep your hands up, and you watch as everyone around her, someone with having seen it before, watches as Samar disappears down into the mist she summons, and then reappears at the back of the auditorium, where she then proceeds to.
I would like to fireball the face of the armored zombie that has been bloodied.
That's doable. Toss the bones. How does that firebolt fly when you roll? That will connect with it.
All right.
For how much, though?
Fingers crossed. Oh my gosh. Really? How is that possible?
Well, you still have a
You need to
reroll,
play water.
and you still have a +2.
What's it? 1 in 1,000 chance for that to have happened.
The odds do not favor you rolling 1 a 4th time for damage.
I don't know. I'm scared.
You could
They're
shoot back,
cursed
but
rolls. They're cursed rolls.
They are.
I would say just take the reroll because, come on.
Yeah, I mean, come on, really? I'm all right, I guess.
Okay, do
Reroll.
it.
Magical gods. Are you
No,
kidding me?
no,
One
that's
in
not fair.
10,000
That's not
chance. There's
fair.
no way. Come on.
How is that possible? I can't
Your
believe that.
your dice are broken,
My
obviously.
dice are cursed.
We're kicking her off the team.
That looks like a glitch. That doesn't look like chance.
That's insane.
That's damned impressive. Is what that
Have you been
is.
struck by lightning in your lifetime?
No, I have
Would you
not.
like to be? I mean, like, seriously.
I mean, at this point, the odds are in my favor. Jeez.
Okay.
Holy bananas.
Well, you did wound it.
Woot with my 1 point of damage.
I've been playing this game a long time. I don't think I've ever seen a 1 rolled 4 times in a row.
I haven't.
Never.
It's not
Easy.
mathematically probable.
Cursed, I say.
Okay. Shaz continues her advance and is going to actually attempt to push you back over push Dagon over one of the benches and onto the ground. Try to trip him. And is just barely not going to get through.
Ha!
As she kind of lumbers through and kind of reaches out and shoves forward. Take it easy, Scott. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. You can always watch the rerun. We're going to rebroadcast this on Sunday next week before our next session. So just catch the last half hour of it. Because we are in the near conclusion of this week's episode. Dagon is up.
All right, this lady, she's trying to use my moves against me, so now I'm pissed. I am going to go full on. I'm going to pull my other hand axe out. I'm going to go 2 hand axe attacks right on her face.
Right. You're going to try. Okay, can we get a 1? Can we get a 1? Now, for the
You had your
record,
one.
I have no say in this. This is all done on D&D Beyond. It's random number generator is the one that hates you guys. That's
But we
2
know.
hits and 2 damages.
Sure.
All right, and because I hate her so much, I'm going to burn my action surge and do another combat round.
Oh,
Just full on berserker.
Wow.
He saw an opening.
And certainly it's not in a
Okay, that was bound to happen.
That's a waste.
wow.
um,
Well, okay, this makes sense. You surge forward, your axe is, slice through bits of armor and sinew, and you force her to take a step back, which is unusual to see a zombie do. And as she does, she moves into a defensive posture and begins to deflect your attacks. Not well, not with any particular speed or adeptness, but definitely with that residual training that you can still see is firing behind her eyes as she fights. Again,
HCT, yeah, the hematocrit.
remembering you've already beat her once and she's pissed about
It's
it.
another measurement of the red blood cell.
Not so much pissed as somewhat embarrassed, perhaps, because it really speaks to the core of her essence. Where at one time, I'm sorry, I'm off topic. Let's see here. Who's left?
We're about to get
TDLR. Angry lady zombie is angry.
That was, if it'd been an angry man zombie, you'd want to hear the whole backstory, am I right?
No. I'd much rather hear like the actual person's backstory, especially since he cut her horse in half. She charged him, he was just like, no.
On that note, there's still one, and I believe, if memory serves, it is engaged with Azteki and will continue to do so, which is probably not its wisest tactical move, but hey, it's a zombie. It's not meant to be smart, and it is ineffectual in its efforts. Frederick is up.
I am going to try to finish it off.
Okay. Frederick moves in, continues to lash out at it. That'll be 2 hits. Okay, so the first damage is enough to drop it. Let's see, does it survive and get back up? No, it does not. So it is down. The last
Sweet.
zombie.
I'm gonna,
Go ahead.
move my hunter's mark to the other zombie.
Okay. It is going to continue to wail on Dagon as it attempts to protect the lead warrior.
Wait, can I protect Dagon?
You are in range.
All right. I protect Dagon.
You step.
Yes.
Once again, that shield comes to bear as you push it away and out of reach and get your action on top of it because you're up next.
Nice. So I'm gonna push it away and I'm gonna wail on it.
That's a pretty standard dose.
Bring it down.
For a cat.
Gonna give it the wombo combo. Coming for you.
So
A wombo combo.
She may be
Steel
Yeah.
bass flail swing.
That's a hit.
We'll call it the wombo combo.
The
from now
wombo
on.
combo.
depending on how she's doing.
Yes! And we did it, everyone. We managed to roll another one.
Good God.
No way.
Oh my gosh, I can't. I can't.
And the painful part about this too
Her chest
is like it's just I feel bad because I mean you guys are hitting. You're just not hitting well.
probably not
Yeah.
I think the dice curse has traced your guys' IP address.
Yeah, no kidding.
Maybe.
Oh, Samara's up. What's Nebula? What you doing?
Oh, I don't know. My fireballs are like firecrackers.
is you can get little gelatin capsules.
Okay, so
Basically, smooth
You have a spell slot left today,
gelatin
assuming that you'll get to rest after this,
the ones that
I do.
which is hard to say.
which I'm assuming Plavix is only once a day and is available as
I mean,
Also, Arcane Recovery will give you some spell slots back, I think.
True.
yeah, that is true.
so you could
I do have that. Yeah, I mean, let's go with the
capsule together so you're
let's see if magic missile does any better.
Okay, big guy or zombie?
At least you can't miss.
You,
This is true.
right. Oh wait, who's still alive there? Oh, we have one armored zombie that's hurt and the zombie warrior.
Yep. Shaz is still like kicking pretty hard right now, if she can connect.
well, I think what they're talking about
Let's let's go with the for the big
into a capsule
Miss Zombie Warrior lady.
Okay.
talking about is
So you roll that damage 3 times as bolts of energy leap out of your hands and arc the entire length of the room as they spin around each other and hone in on her form.
Oh dear.
This will be a 4. The
Oh
last one will be a 4.
dear.
Oh, that's not.
Nope.
You know, it could be worse. It could be worse. It's still a decent amount of damage. It's still 8.
It's a lot better than one.
And she gets
Yeah.
to go.
True.
And she is going to continue her assault on Dagon. This
Can I
time,
block?
yes, you can. As Asteki
And
continues
I'm
his
blocking.
defense. And
Defend, protect.
Dad, keep that shield up.
yep, and it spared him. As you
I just stand there,
continue,
I'm like, Azteki!
Yeah, I gotta be on top of that. It's like, and she's going to. No, wait, hold on.
oh,
Those arm feathers. It's kind of like a mother bird protecting its young.
Yeah, I'm just with the shield because the flail is just not working tonight. So the shield's getting overtime.
okay. Battlefield has been more or less updated. Let's see. That's done in the combat order. Takes us back up to Dagon. As Asteki steps in and shoves you out of the way and throws the shield up in front of himself to bear the brunt of what would have been an attack that could have taken your arm off.
Yeah, I'm gonna say thanks for that, bird boy, and I'm gonna try to go in and hope maybe finish this lady off.
Okay. Dagon steps in. Is this still another hand axe? Yep.
Yeah,
Is not going to be effective. It's almost like you're getting crowded out of the space. Second one will hit though. So that's a damage of 7.
You still have that reroll?
You have a +2 to a roll. I would advise against applying it to the attack roll.
Yeah. I know that we have, we do use amoxicillin,
She definitely has taken some hits though as she falls back a bit.
but it is not.
Those guys are gone. Frederick is up. There's still one armored zombie who's
See if I
flanking.
can, hit that armored zombie.
Okay. Nope. And you have a reroll in the bank now.
Upper respiratory infections.
It's hurt. I'm gonna walk up and. No, I'm gonna shoot it. I
Okay.
took shooting. Be shooter.
Shooting's good. Shooting's good and distanced. They're less likely to turn around and backhand you. So that's a total of 10. Well, the arrow lands solid in flesh.
As a treatment for leukemia,
Does it stay down?
I don't think we've ever done maybe once or twice we've done
Yes.
blood transfusion for our leukemia.
You're finally doing enough damage per hit that these zombies are actually staying down when you kill them. Which then gets us to Azteki.
Using a medication that stimulates the bone.
The only one left standing now is the Lady Shaz's zombie remains, which are continuing to batter away at your shield.
It's called
All right. Well,
and cats talk
gonna take another swipe with the flail.
you know,
All right.
diabetic and need insulin
You do have a
injections
+2 and a reroll in the bank.
will start to come remind them
All right, let's see what
to get
happens.
the injection because they also get food at the same time, and a lot of people can give the injection of the insulin while they're eating their food and they don't even notice. So, and a lot of times we teach
I can tell you an 11 will not hit.
cats and they ask if all medications can be made into an injection because it's a lot
I don't even want to re-roll because then I'm gonna roll a 1 after I hit.
don't be
I'm fine with
I
missing
feel
and getting
your,
eaten
defeat.
alive, while somebody else does some damage.
leukemia positive cat. We're looking
Okay. That's then going to fall off at the back of the room. The elf has been watching the battle unfold. She's watched zombie after zombie drop. There was one left, continuing to batter away at her friends. And she?
as a stimulant for the bone marrow.
I mean, we're gonna see what we can do with the firebolt. I don't know
Okay.
what's gonna happen.
She pulls back and throws a ball of fire into the space.
Are you kidding me?
Guy,
That's awesome.
Oh, what?
I
What?
It's in cats that have
I think this thing is broken, like legit. I think it's broken.
Yeah,
It
it's
could be
probably
broken.
legit
It could be
broken.
broken.
RNG is broken.
that's not how random works.
most of the time with
Okay, she's rolling a D1. No,
Right?
it says D20 plus 5. 1 plus
It
5 is
does.
6.
feel about her diagnosis.
It does. It's just not
Did she have
not happening.
Did she have a confirmation?
That's unfortunate. Did you want to use that reroll in the bank?
Nope. I'm gonna save that for somebody who would actually do it.
Everyone's just like, no, we're done. We can't do this.
It's just one of those
The
nights.
depression is there.
Shaz pushes on. I think Azteki's had his turn, so is he going to block for Dagon again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
Always block.
Always be blocking.
Did not help this time.
Oh no.
Well, you know what? He really did put in the work, though, man.
He did put in the work.
Effective.
Yeah.
Very effectual.
And this time she's noticed the patterns. And instead of her, but in this instance, she takes a swing towards Dagon, watches as your shield comes up. She spins back the other way and swats your shield out of the way with her elbow before swinging the sword into and laying it square in Dagon's side, where she pulls it forward, which Dagon's been hit before with swords. They hurt. This one is rusted and jagged as it pulls through the shirt and skin, dropping him to 4 HP. Dagon, how do you respond to this moment? And be honest,
Well,
this is for posterity.
I've had about enough of this, you ugly mug.
I'm just going to light her up.
Yeah, light her up. That's what I do best. Or maybe not.
That's a hit. Oh, sorry, that's a miss.
Can't
That'll be
do
a hit,
worse
though.
than I've done.
Drop some damage on him.
There we go.
Okay, that's enough to take her down. Does she stay down? And she stays down.
Good
Nice.
job, fellas.
Oh my gosh.
You watch as her form slumps backwards and turn as it hits the altar to face you. She sinks down onto the ground and actually turns to look up at you. And you can almost see a grin on what's left of her face from where the skin has slowly rotted over time as she just sinks down into the earth below and disappears again.
Something tells me it ain't gonna be the last of her.
I agree.
I'm gonna immediately cover my wounds, go sit in a bench, readjust my hat, and light up a cigar.
I'm gonna check my flail for weirdness.
Before you can even move towards a position of recovery, the voice from the altar speaks. You have made your choice, and you have earned the knowledge.
Sure.
We will tell you the story. Step forward.
Yay.
I just sat down.
I mean, it's gonna set up like an auditorium, but they said step forward. Come on.
I will make my way
No,
towards
they don't
the
need to
altar.
know.
I'm
Send them away.
the
Send them away.
farthest away.
They have earned their place. And you actually watch as the book lifts up and moves back to the altar where it lands and opens. And you can see as it sets itself down on the altar itself and begins to open to a page, there's a shimmering form of a gentleman wearing a very similar shirt and doublet and breeches to what you have seen around the town. They are dressed as a commoner, and he lays the book open and reaches out towards you. He's flanked now by another shimmering image of a woman in skirts and blouse, not dissimilar to one of the women at the tavern, and another man, also somewhat smaller of stature. And you can see now where they were the sources of those three voices. Are you all approaching, or is one of you stepping up? What's everyone doing?
Oh, I was approaching. I'm the farthest back, but I was making my way up there.
Yeah, I'll approach with her like on one of her sides, like flanking coverage. Because I don't trust nobody here.
As you start to step up towards the one in the back, is the first to speak, is obviously the spokesperson for the three. They sought to end the ever twilight, and this book showed the way. It just took a sacrifice. One sacrifice. Come. Read. Who steps up?
I will step up. I'll pick up the book and read.
As you reach for the book, the light begins to emanate out of it towards the party. And as the other three of you watch as Samara steps up and puts her hand on it, you can see the wall of light approach you. And in the moment, you can see nothing else but the white light. And then you begin to see what has come before, which is where we will pick up next week.
I don't think that lymph nodes would
Oh man.
Nice.
Woo, we're live.
Oh my gosh! Can't believe we're alive with all those one freaking rolls. again.
God. Yeah, when they plan encounter difficulties, they don't really do a good job of accounting for really crappy dice rolls.
Yep.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you're going into Act 3 bloodied.
Yay.
Very bloodied.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Some minor injuries. Minor.
But that's okay. You won't have to worry about that pesky raven bothering you.
I mean, I actually kind of preferred the raven.
Why is my intuition always the opposite of what's expected?
Well, and it was fun too because I got digging around. I'm like, because that is a shtick in Ravenloft. There are the Knights of the Raven. There's the holy symbol of Ravenkind. They really went all in on the Raven imagery. I'm like, well, if he's going to find a god in the mists, it's going to be tied to this. Which is weird because it does kind of like your gut reaction is, no, crows are like bad. They're carrion birds. They can't represent something good. But that's also kind of like where the world fits. So I was like, all right, let's
Super cool.
let's dig in on that.
Yeah. No, it's tasty. I love it.
Tasty. What is that?
He said dig in, like it's food, like.
Oh, okay. I get you.
I don't know. Maybe it's too late, and I'm all loopy from all the one rolls. You rolled one on that joke, babe. It's
Holy cow. I kind of want to go back through here. Let's see here. So we have damage rolls for Firebolt. You know what? 4 of those in a row were ones.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's a good thing we had an audience because they kept feeding you rerolls, which I think is part of how you survived.
I agree. I would not have survived
Yay,
without
yay, team.
without those rerolls. I don't think we all would have survived that. Crazy. But yeah, especially me.
Mm-hmm. But you guys did well. You got to the important part. I didn't have to do too much exposition at the end because I think you guys have more or less figured out the bullet point on my list of, at this stage, the characters should know. But why?
It can be difficult to know for sure.
Yeah.
The armpits tend to be kind of a harder one to feel sometimes because they're kind of.
And
I'll be thinking on that this week.
I'm a little surprised you guys browbeat the crap out of Misha so much.
In the back of the knee.
I was ready to move on, and we also couldn't decide what to do
I
about
was
the
ready
room.
to ask her some more, man. I was getting ready to be like, look, forget this whole thing. If you guys are going to tell me what's going on, I don't even want to help you. I literally helped and took your smithy back. We are just doing favors for you, and you can't even tell us why?
You can't sleep? Go on up. I'll be up in about 20 minutes. I'll kiss you good night.
But
Okay.
that, yeah,
Give me a kiss.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay. All right, I got about 20 minutes. I gotta go tuck the little one. Plus, we're technically done for the night, but
Yeah.
it's always kind of fun to hang out for a minute afterwards and kibitz. Yeah, I had not fully anticipated that particular angle, so there's a part of me that appreciates the. Well, obviously we've got as much out of her as we're gonna get. Coupled with,
Right.
well, at a certain point, she's not going to say too much more. Plus, I don't know how much she knows to be in the grand scheme of things, which is part of what you'll find out next week.
Right. I mean, I don't think she
Yeah, that's
would
fair.
know more than like the elders of the town,
How much do you expect a 17-year-old to know about local history?
Right.
Well, especially if she swore she was never going back. That's the only reason I was like, oh, I'm going to lean into that. Why did you swear you're never coming back?
Well, thank you, Gadget Man. We appreciate
thank
the thumbs up from the Peanut Gallery. I like to think you guys did pretty well tonight, and we all had fun. I was surprised you. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it was fun. We did have lots of fun.
I thought you guys were going to go after the portrait more. I was kind of surprised you did not.
Like attack wise or like
Portrait, what do you think?
It
investigating?
kept missing.
The portrait? Nobody missed the portrait that shot at it.
No, the portrait was missing.
Yes, the portrait. All of his slots went into trying to drop one of those super spells, and it wasn't until the last one he had that it went down. But if you had gotten it first, it would have taken out the armor.
Oh.
Well, now you tell us.
We should have focus fired on the portrait.
Suggestions. Suggestions are always welcome. We're still, honestly, this is only the 3rd time I've streamed D&D on Twitch, so unless you're telling the suggestion is get a different DM, I'm totally open to it. And in which case, if that's a suggestion, I'll tell you, well, fine, you can do it because it's work.
Oh my gosh, yeah, for sure.
But paintings and fire usually don't mix well.
That is true.
That's legit.
True.
That is
I
legit.
mean, it was doing 2d6. It was working pretty good.
Yeah. Well, and I also added in the immunity to piercing weapons because it made sense. Like putting a hole through a portrait isn't going to do as much damage as slashing across it. And there's a little bit of me that went, I'm tired of Jeremy just killing everything first round. I need to.
Kills me back.
Two of you were carrying torches. Yeah, that's true.
We were carrying torch. We could have easily just set it on fire.
I
Although
torched that thing at the end there.
that also, I can also see in the moment, not thinking about that. Like we've got this suit of armor that's trying to decapitate us. We'll worry about the portrait that is being ineffective later.
Yeah.
That 100% that.
I think if the portrait had connected with that spell in round 1 and dropped 46 damage, that would have shifted your priorities significantly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this whole thing, all 3 games, I've been super lucky with your rolls against me. I know I have because my armor class is not that high.
Well, it's 13, right? I'm not crazy, am I?
Yeah, it's 13. Yeah.
Okay, cool. As long as I'm not nuts. Yeah, well, you owe Azteki huge because stepping in there to do the, okay, this round I'll block, forcing that disadvantage is clutch against single combatants. Because they only get the one attack, and forcing it to be a reroll is...
I lucked out on that pick. Like there was like 4 other options. I said, all right, protection, like might as well go with that. And so I just have to make sure I get in there before you start rolling and killing people. I'm like, wait a minute.
You started talking all like high and mighty, and I was like, yeah, you know what? He's right. F this book.
He took responsibility. He came up and backed you after you messed the book up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Azteki and Dagon make a solid line at this point with your protection and my dual wielding.
Yeah.
Now, see, the thing is that my original incarnation for this in my brain was this was going to be in some ancient burial mound. One of those like barrows from Skyrim kind of things that you kind of work your way down slowly. And it wasn't until like Thursday morning my brain went, oh, what if it's the ruined manor house of the old lord of this area?
Oh, I like it. I liked the whole suits of armor, and the portrait, coming alive. Very cool.
Well, and I obviously had to bring back Shaz again, because what's the point of being able to re-raise zombies if you don't keep throwing them back at the party?
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, and you increase the stakes.
Yeah.
Every time they come back.
Oh, yeah. It's entirely possible the next time you see her, she'll have the big guy with her.
Yeah, there you go.
No. Oh, no.
I think next time I'll say, listen, you know what? I'll take you out for dinner. We can go out on a date already. Geez, leave us alone.
Oh.
She does clearly like you.
Yes.
It's the hat.
It's the
that
hat.
It's, yep, that hat.
It's the hat. Oh, so what I'm going to have to do between now and next week is figure out how I can capture my Discord video chat. Because here's the one twist I'm bumping into with OBS. Zombies dig bowlers. Yes, they do. Zombie chicks especially. I can't grab my camera. I mean, if I'll do a second camera. Because I'm thinking, I want to run the rerun of this week next week. And as soon as the rerun is done, go live with a coming up / pre-show. Just to kind of keep a nice continuity through the afternoon, evening. But
I think that's a really good idea.
if I can pull it off. I'm not sure I'm quite that tech savvy yet. I'm getting there. But I'm not there yet. So, okay, well, we all had fun. I'm going to feel like we did pretty good tonight.
Oh, that was super fun.
Even with the bad rolls, it was still a great time.
Even with the what?
It just gets better and better.
Even with the bad rolls. I mean, it's sometimes bad rolls is just like,
The bad rolls are what make it fun. Go Gadget golf clap.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys had a good time. I'm gonna call it a night. Before I
Alright.
take off, though, a couple of quick things before we shut down. If I can type, maybe there it is. If you do not follow her, and I doubt anyone doesn't, but if you don't, yeah, you have to follow Nebula's stream. She is an amazing variety streamer. She's always playing something fun.
Thank
And I
you.
consider her like my big sister in streaming, which
Oh,
actually maybe a little, I mean, big in heart, small in age. We'll go that way because there's no way you've got as much gray as I got going on. So I have to be the elder of the two.
I mean, I got some grays coming in.
No, you don't.
Oh, I do. And this on my right, especially on my right side of my head, I got like those little
Oh, I
little
totally
patch.
got those too. Like literally right there.
After all those ones, you got some more grays after tonight.
Oh
no
yeah,
kidding.
for sure.
Well, if Ravenloft doesn't give you gray hairs, the DM's doing it wrong. And then Jeremy's also streaming over at Spinny Helm. Definitely check him out. He's kind of getting going on this with everybody, so give him some love and support.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And of course, a big thank you to Azteki for coming out from the wilds, as we often say, the wild Azteki
Yes, a wildest techie appears.
has appeared. And then my buddy Adam for chilling out with us and joining in to round the party out, which is always a great time. And until next time we see you guys, sign offs from everybody.
Eat a pretty nutritious diet normally.
Yeah. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, see you next week.
Well, yeah.
And just make
Can't
sure,
wait to continue the adventure.
please, above all else, though, make sure you and yours
Yes.
stay safe. Good night.